other Caucasians to the back. Immediately.
Capiche, capiche. Tequila lover, astrology nerd. Demon time sipping on some scissor. Swallowed, beat the ground up, was in the bag, and don't forget the least capiche. Cult leader, rain boots and a thong. Boosie, 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 all day long. Piss break, happy box, shake your fucking ass.
Yeah, it's pussy time. I really hate BT. I really hate BT. Why would you do this to me? You know I can't help myself. Oh my God, I hope everybody's doing good. Shout out to all my YouTubians on YouTube on the reaction channel. I appreciate it. Welcome in. Welcome in. Can't wait to talk about my favorite Hainties. Y'all, this book was so good. It was a wonderful, I feel like this was probably the best book to open up the book club this year. It was something short and sweet to the point. Honestly, my only complaint is that I wish it was longer. But yeah, it was such a fun book, and I hope everybody enjoyed the read. So yeah, book club, first book club of the year, first book club meeting of the year. Wilderness Book Club still going strong in 2026. They said we wouldn't make it. They said, I remember there were doubters. They said we wouldn't make it, but look at us, here we are. Listen, this is our 6th book club ever, you know, and I like that we take it slow. I don't want to rush nobody. This ain't college, you know, y'all ain't getting a grade. We're just doing this for funsies, and it holds me accountable by read. I try to read at least 5 books a year, so this is holding me accountable with my reading. I should read more outside of the book club, but we'll get there when we get there. You know, I got bills to pay and things to do. But the fact that, you know, there's some people who don't read at all during the year. So I feel like I'm doing good with my little 5 books. Oh man, can you drop the link for the book club story graph? If you put an exclamation point book club, it should pop up. And thank you so much. First of all, can I give a thank you, BT? Can we give a big shout out to Mo the Sheep for his wonderful just organizing, community organizing this week? And a round of applause. Thank you so much, Mo, for one, all that you do for the book club. I really appreciate it. Mo, listen, Mo doesn't have to do it, but he does it because he loves his community so much. And first of all, Mo loves to read, and he puts me on to so many books. And I just appreciate you so much for getting the community involved and reminding the community and myself, because you know I need the reminders. And thank you just so much for being there. This past 2 days, Mo streamed some of the panels from Virtuous Con. I think I did a panel on Virtuous Con last year. Somebody remind me, I think I did a panel on Virtuous Con. I had to remember, like, didn't you do a panel on that, girl? But thank you, Mo. We actually got to see, I tuned in for the last panel yesterday. I couldn't tune into any panels today because I had to work. But I tuned into the panel yesterday where they had Tanana Rivdu, P. Djèlí Clark, the author of the book that we're reading. Well, we're doing the discussion on tonight, Ring Shout. And there was 2 other authors that I forgot their names. And so don't beat me up. But that panel was so insightful, and it's definitely going to add to the discussion that we're going to have tonight. Not Big Mo, not the little one. Let's go. That's that Big Mo energy. We need more Big Mo energy in our lives, okay? But yes, thank you so much, Mo, for everything you've been doing with the book club. I really appreciate you so much. You help keep it organized and keep it structured. And for that, I will always appreciate you. And you're just an amazing friend all around. So thank you so much. What else did I want to discuss today before we get into the book club? At the end, we will have, I can't stay up super late because I do have to go back to work tomorrow and it's a long shift. But tonight, maybe the last 30 minutes of the stream, we're going to try to rehearse the Black National Anthem, all 3 verses, right? Because that's our goal this Black History Month, is to know all 3 verses of Lift Every Voice and Sing. And I think I just heard Big Mo energy in Mariah Carey's voice from her song with Lotto. Please. What's up, Hubba? What's up, Sigtor? Damn, I think that's it. Oh, I do have like a little mini discussion. This it doesn't relate to the book, but it kind of does because it deals with racism, and the book definitely deals with a lot of racism. Also, I have this drink that I've had on my bar called Toast. It's non-alcoholic. It's a non-alcoholic beverage. But I wanted a little wine, but I don't actually want to drink, but I do want like a something. And it's been sitting on my bar for so long. So I'm like, man, it says Best Buy November 15th, 2025. Well, we just gonna have to go for it, baby. It's been on my bar for so long. I've had this before. I've had this before. It's the peaches all over again. I know. I can't help myself. I can't help myself. Oh. But, oh! You got to be fucking kidding me. Oh my God! You know what? I'm not gonna let this ruin my mood. I'm not gonna let this ruin my mood tonight. Oh my fucking fuck. You know what? It is what it is. I'll get it up after stream. It is what it is. I'm giving my problems to God. Not clean up in aisle 5. It was like a Jada Fire prawn up in here. God damn. It was, what's her name? Miss B Nasty up in here. Who's gonna clean this up? Who gonna clean this up? That was so nasty. This is book club, Leash. This is book club. This is not a regular stream. I'm supposed to be good. Anyway, look at how much came out. Oh my God. Anyway, anywho, it's already open, so. Oh, Johnny, you're not a mod over there. Oh, because it's a different channel. Hold on, I can mod you real quick. Thanks for pointing that out. Standard. Here you go, Johnny. Yeah. A lot came out because it's been a long time. God bless whoever parts this sea. God bless. Cause Might fuck around and drown. Oh my God. Y'all are so nasty and filthy. What is going on? This is book club. Have some decorum. Let's taste this. I forgot how this tastes like because I had one before. Let me see. No, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's actually pretty okay. I needed some something. I wanted wine, but I didn't want wine. So I was like, let me drink this stuff that's been on my bar for forever. So enough rope to climb Everest. Oh dear. Hello? The books can get it too. They be on my back. Hello? Hubba. Oh boy. Oh, BT, you're having internet problems as well. I'm not having internet problems. BT's going through his own Whitney moment. See, this is what you get for talking shit about Whitney. Anyway, what did you miss? Vega sat on my PC tower and shut my PC down. Oh shit. Mo, I was just literally singing your praises. I was glazing you for 5 minutes straight. And you missed it. Crazy work. Literal glaze, slob on knobs, like corn on the cob. I was just saying thank you so much. You missed all that. It was so... Oh dear. I was wondering why he wasn't saying nothing in the chat. Oh my God. No, Mo, I was just basically saying thank you so much for all of the community work that you've been doing with the book club and getting people together and the streaming of Virtuous Con in the Discord. So that's what I was saying. Like, thank you so much for organizing everything and making sure you keep me up to, well, you know, me up to date. Because, you know, I'll be forgetting, and the community up to date with book club and making sure we're on Storygraph and, you know, just the constant reminders. You don't have to do it, but I appreciate that you do it. And thank you so much for being a good friend and a good community member. Thank you, Mo. You could go just watch the beginning of the stream. I think it was much more thoughtful what I said at the beginning of the stream. So I had to give you an abridged version. Right. Thank you for being a friend. Mo been carrying book club. Okay. I wish I had mentioned Virtuous Con sooner. Today we watched Princess Tiana read to us and it healed our inner child. Oh, yeah, I couldn't watch any today because I had to work. You know, I had to slave away. But it's fine. It's fine. I'm happy y'all had a good time. You sounded less grateful this time. Yeah, because I had to give an abridged version. Damn, Maya. Damn. Oh, so y'all saw what happened at the BAFTA Awards? And I have a question. Because I'm not really familiar with, is the proper name still Tourette's? Or did we give it another name? Because I don't want to be saying a condition that we don't use anymore. Because I know we can't use Asperger's anymore. We use, I forgot the other, but I know we can't use that. So we can still use Tourette's. Okay. So, so did y'all see what happened? So basically, for everybody who doesn't know, I think it was at the BAFTA Awards where Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo went up to receive an award. And as they were, I guess, doing their speech, a man with Tourette's yelled out the N-word, like, and you know the crowd was silent, yelled out the N-word as they were, you know, giving their speech with a hearty R, not with an A. It was a hearty R. And, you know, I guess they finished their speech. And so somebody came up because apparently the man who was there, the man who said the N-word, they made a movie about his life living with Tourette syndrome or whatever. So I think he interrupted another speech and then he just left voluntarily. But right after their Delroy Lindo and Michael B. Jordan's speech, somebody came up to explain, like, you know, such and such has Tourette's and he doesn't mean anything by it, and you know, but in my mind, I understand it's a condition, right? I understand it's a condition, but could it be like triggered by, like, cause does he only say it when he sees black people, or does he say it like all the time? Cause I'm just like, huh? Like I'm confused. So for people who know about, you know, that, like, please explain it to me, because I'm just like, huh? If they were taught it and it stuck, they can't control it. Got you. Fuck that. I find it crazy how all three of his outbursts were within the context of what was happening. It's in your vocab at that point. Yes, but tics come from words they've heard before. So even if he doesn't use it, it's definitely been said around him. Got you. It depends. Some are random and some are triggered, but regardless can be controlled. Fair enough. Because I'm just like, but okay, I get it. You know, does it make me feel any better about the situation? Not necessarily, but I can understand it. You know, I don't have to feel good about it, but I can understand, like, okay, I can understand. But it's just like, okay now, girl. So, but yeah, I was just like, at one point, can we be offended? Random things can become tics. Like, you can hear or see something once and it could be a tic, and then you can hear something all the time and not be a tic. Got you. Oh yeah, I don't feel good about it at all. Right. You know, you can understand but not feel like, you know, good about it. It's just exhausting that black people have to always be so considerate and so understanding of other people's stuff. I've seen someone spam slurs in a streamer with the condition into saying the slur. Damn. Oh, into the chat. Got you. It sucks, but it would have to be more context of what he says when he doesn't have the tics. So we would actually have to see his character before we could be like, wait a minute. So if he's just a rampaging racist, then okay, we could have the smoke for him. But if it's just him just saying that he saw two black people on the stage and oopsie, you know, got you. That has to be annoying to have, very much so. It can depend a lot, but my question is functional level and who are his caretakers? Because if it were me, you would have a mask or bite down on something to suppress your sounds if you know that correlation exists. I think both can exist at the same time, even if he didn't control it. In this context, someone else should have known this was happening. Yes, Genesis. Huh? From who? Wait a minute. Hold on. Give me a second. Anyway, Lord have mercy. All right, so, but yeah, Draven, thank you so much for the 39 months. I appreciate it. Also, my bad, earlier, Vicious Beauty, thank you so much for the raid. All right, let's go back to the conversation. Hold on. That's what I was thinking. They didn't have a plan. I want to assume he's had Tourette's for a while. Yeah, that's because he was there because they made a movie about his life. So I think. So he's had Tourette's for a long time. So he should know when one is coming and how to suppress it for a bit, or even though difficult, if it's possible. It could be, on one hand, I don't want to delegitimize disability, but on the other hand, why can't I be tired and express Black fatigue? Fair enough. It can be, but with all the people faking or playing up their Tourette's nowadays, I'm forever skeptical. I don't want to say people are faking. Well, I mean, have there been people who have, but I don't ever want to just assume. I'll give people the benefit of the doubt until, they do something otherwise, or a doctor comes out, which they can't, and say that they don't have it. So, I just heard about this too. It's tough because for me, it's not when a certain Swedish man said it out of pure anger, and frustration, and was deliberately using the term to insult someone, but it's still very upsetting, right? I don't find it suspicious. My wig fell on the floor and I thought it was an animal that wasn't mine. That ain't no puppy Gina. Anyway, Gee Willikers, gee whiz. I don't find it suspicious. Like, before people can spam words and they become tics. I could feel bad, but also like not feel comfortable as a minority. Fair. Plus, people with disabilities can call out people for faking it. There have been on TikTok, Twitch for views. Oh, damn. I want to give the benefit of the doubt, but of course we do have to be weary of the Eric Cartmans of the world. True. What's up, Davey? Fair enough. Let's assume the best possible situation. He was goaded into saying it, and his caretakers knew, because we live in a racist world. Then his caretakers let him be embarrassed like this, and it still impacted Black people just existing. At this point, if you weren't sure he could contain the tics, then guess what? We have digital ways to watch during rounds, where he isn't actively up for an award, especially if we know slurs are in the lexicon. It's fine if it's just disruptive, but racism is a line. Fair enough. I just wanted to know, because I'm not familiar with it, and I was just like, I was a little taken aback. So I needed to basically start the conversation to figure out if I'm tripping, or because looking at the of course, looking at the comments, everybody's like, oh, he chooses to say this word at this time or whatever. So I was just like, at first I was like, yeah, that's a little suspicious to me. But I know that in this chat, I have people who work with people who have these conditions. So I'm like, let me bring this to y'all, so that way I know I ain't tripping, and so that way I can educate myself about what this condition actually is. Was it actual racism, or was it a legitimate, or tic? So, disability justice doesn't come at the expense of Black justice. True that. It's okay to acknowledge his condition, but still feel a type of way. Exactly. Like, your feelings, my feelings will always be valid, because if a white person, I don't care if somebody has a disability. If I see a white person say, or any person, disability or not, say the N-word, I'm allowed to feel mad about it. I'm also allowed to understand and have empathy. Like, okay, you know, this person either can't control it or whatever, but I'm still allowed to be mad. Because at the end of the day, you know, it's still a very triggering word when you hear it from somebody who's not Black. It's still a very triggering word when you hear it from somebody who is Black. You know, I would never say it. Oh boy. So I do want his caretakers to get a cauliflower ear though. Right. Beat them ears up. Is Baron joining the book club? Shut up, Trent. Oh boy. Definitely is buried in Detroit. Not, you know, 1.5 months ago. Shut up, BT. Get on my nerves. So is racism in a systemic way? Your anger is at his caretakers in this case. Tourette's is not easy, especially with how other people manipulate you. And this was so preventable. Fair enough. Fair enough. Not opens up Zim's text message. What's up, Andre? Oh man, releases Twitter threads. It's an awkward position to be in for you as a Black disabled person and have disabled family members. I don't like disabled people being met with suspicion, but also racist and disabled doesn't cancel each other out, right? And on the other hand, there's still a lot of context and info missing. Right, like what Crowbatty said, I think it was Crowbatty. No, what Poog said, or Crowbatty, one of y'all said that if he's racist in his everyday life, then that's when we could be met with, okay, now fuck you. But if this is just like a random like tick that he probably heard or whatever, then it's just like, okay, I understand it. Or like, I understand it, but it's still like, all right now. So, all right, what's up, Mike? And not to discount disabilities at all, but if he were Black and couldn't contain a tick that harmed another party, he, not his caretakers or family, would be held accountable and called out. Not saying he should be, and we don't know a lot here, but I don't especially like the public responses either. Fair enough. Fair enough. But yeah. Okay, well, I guess we could get into the book club. Thank y'all for educating me, because I saw that and I was just like, let me ask some people who know better. Cause I don't know. I was ready to be like, oh no, fuck that. So I was like, let me ask them because I don't know. Also, suddenly ableism is a problem now that someone with a disability had a slur tick. Now white non-disabled people care more. That's always pisses me off. Acting like Black people should be magically okay. Right. I highly doubt a non-white person would get that much sympathy. Probably not. But and this, the BAFTAs award, isn't that in, that's not wait, BAFTA is not an American award. Isn't that overseas, or am I tripping? Isn't that an overseas award? Let me double check. It's a UK award. And we all know UK race relations, they like to act like it doesn't exist. So of course, y'all know how the UK is. So, and it happened to be at the tail end of Black History Month, right? Lord have mercy. I love all the education that comes out of the wilderness. Really, truly. Really, truly. Barbie, thank you so much for the 18 months. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for 18 months of love and support. Black people with Tourette's get harmed and harassed at such a high rate. I know. The UK be UK, and of course they do. It never fails. Never fails. Don't get me started, because I don't want to do my eagle screech right now. I do not want to do my eagle screech. So, book club. Yes, that's why we're here. So, for everybody who didn't know, I don't understand how you don't know that we were reading Ring Shout by P. Djèlí Clark. But if you're new here, The book club meeting this month. Ooh, Nami got the hiccups. They sure ain't got no alcohol in it. The book club book this month was called Ring Shout. Essentially, I'm just gonna give a brief synopsis. I'm not gonna do like how I normally do, where I tell y'all the whole book front to back. But who knows how that's gonna go, cause y'all know once I get to talking, I just keep talking and I can't shut up. Bend me over. Hello? Anyway, if there's one thing Leash likes to do is yap. Clock it, BT. Front to back. Okay. So Ring Shout takes place in South Georgia, Macon, to be exact. If you've ever been to Macon, Macon probably looks better now, but back in the day, Macon used to be a little hovel. I think at one point Macon was the capital of Georgia. I believe so. It was either Macon or Savannah before they switched it to Atlanta. I think it was Macon. And there, of course, this is fictional Macon. So there's these monsters called, it was Savannah. Okay. There's these monsters that look like, or they form from Klansmen, the KKK, as it were. And they essentially are demons brought into this universe, if I'm not mistaken. Brought into this universe to feed upon hate and to feed upon people to eat. You know, demons love to eat flesh, human flesh. I thought you was talking about Megan Thee Stallion. Megan Thee Stallion? What Megan Thee Stallion got to do with this? What was I talking about? Why are we talking about Megan Thee Stallion? I'm trying to get a flow state going. So there's these three characters. I like that they were all Black women. So we had Maurice, we had, I forget the other two's names. Y'all know I'm terrible with names. So we have the tall, dark skin. I could just, you know who I pictured her as? y'all are fucking with my ADHD. I pictured the tall, dark skin one as, what's her name? From The Woman King. Was it The Woman King? Not The Woman King. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Sadie, Chef, and Maurice. Yes. Is it Maurice? What's her name? She's British. Not Viola. The Igosi. Not Viola Davis. The hot one. Not Sheila Atim. No, not from Black Panther. No, the other one. I think her name was Igosi. Lashana Lynch. Thank you, BT. I picture her as Lashana Lynch. Fine. That woman is so fine. The hot one, Viola Davis is hot. Don't get it twisted. But I'm very specific in mine. And then I pictured Sadie as old girl from whatchamacallit country, Lovecraft County country. And I really didn't have I didn't really picture anybody as Maurice. I was trying to do Tashana, whatever her name is, from I don't know anybody's name, y'all. But whatever her name is from Wonder Woman. Logan from Dear Black People was Sadie for you? Really? Sadie was your favorite? Oh, her. See, for me, it was gonna be Maria Rambeau from the Captain. That's the same person, Digi. That Maria Rambeau from Captain Marvel is the same person I'm talking about. I'm not talking about Michaela Cole. I'm talking about, yeah. You see Maurice's Janelle Monáe. But I feel like Janelle Monáe's a little too skinny. I feel like, you know, Maurice had a little bit of weight on her. I need pictures. Oh my God. Okay, let me pull up some references for y'all. Lashana Lynch. For me, let me get a good picture. This is Lashana Lynch. Okay. That's who I pictured as chef. This wonderful, amazing, gorgeous, scrumptious woman. Yeah. My mind. And then what's her name from Lovecraft Country? What's her name? She kind of looked like Gina from Martin. I don't know why I don't remember nobody's name. Journey Smoulier. Journey Smoulier. So she was Sadie. Okay. And then I don't what's her name? Tashana. You know what? Let me just put in oh, Wanda. Yeah, the girl from Eve's Bayou. Yeah. What's her name? They cloned Tyrone. I know she was in They Clone Tyrone. And this is who, for me, minus all of the bells and whistles, this is who Maurice was to me. I forget her name, but yeah, in my mind. So 3 Black women were the main characters. Awesome and amazing. All different shades, which I loved. She was Sadie for you too. Mm-hmm. And they go around basically hunting clans. So there's a difference between the ones that have turned and the ones that haven't turned. So there's the KKK, the Ku Klux Klan, which is like, I guess, like the regular people, but then there's I think they call the demons the Ku Klux, just the 2Ks, like the big N and the and the small N. Oh boy, coffee color is always hard for you to picture because I think of a dark roast coffee, but some folks say she's lighter than that. Normally when somebody says coffee color, it's normally coffee with cream. They mean like coffee that's been a little cream. They never mean a dark roast, ever. It's always I'm not even coffee colored. I think coffee color is a little bit lighter. So there's the clans and then there's the Ku Kluxes, right? The Ku Kluxes are the demons. The clans are the regular people. Is that just colorism? It might be. It might be. She's full dark skin in your head. Fair enough. I mean, it's y'all brain. Coffee colors like Halle Berry. I think a little bit darker. Like a true like brown. Like a brown. The only way I could describe it is the girl who I just showed y'all, or like a Janelle Monáe. I think Janelle Monáe would technically be coffee color. Yeah. Kind of like chestnut. Yeah. When I think coffee, I think black coffee. Normal people would, but I think the overall consensus is like a brown. That is coffee color to black people too. Yeah, I think Janelle Monáe would be like a good example of coffee color, yeah. Or like Vivica Fox, yeah. Or like Pam Grier would be coffee colored. So just for examples. So they go around fighting demons or whatever, and they live their life and they have a good time. Not a good time because they're fighting demons who want to eat them and terrorize black neighborhoods. And of course they come across a greater evil, because there's always a greater evil behind the big scheme of just hate. what makes the Ku Kluxes susceptible to turning into demons is that, you know, hate or whatever. And then we meet the Butcher, who is like an entity from another realm, or as you know, old Southern culture, we like to call them haints. So he's a haint from another realm. And he essentially wants to resurrect, not Pam Grier can still get it, honestly, really, truly. And let me shut my mouth. Focus, Leash, focus. And the Butcher wants to resurrect like a grand evil called the Cyclops. And by doing that, they basically infect the Ku Kluxes, or they infect Klans members and turn them into Ku Kluxes. And like I said, how they do that is because the Klans, KKK already has hate in them, so it's easy to just, you know, go into their body and take over. So Maurice meets the Butcher. Oh, mind you, I forgot to tell y'all about the sword. This is my favorite part. The sword was my favorite fucking part. So she's able to defeat the demon Klansman, right? Because she's able to pull this sword. Think of like an anime where they don't have a weapon and they could just, and it comes from nothing, right? And that's, you want to know what? All of the fight scenes, I pictured in anime form. I didn't picture, because this is how my mind works when I read a book. I have to assign people, I have to assign characters people I already know in real life, like fiction, like actors or something. More than likely it's going to be an actor. So I assign that in my head. But if it's anything dealing with action, normally I picture it as a cartoon. So the fight scenes, I pictured that in like an anime type of a way. So she's able to call upon the sword. And when my favorite part is when she calls upon the sword, she calls upon like the pain of our ancestors. Like every time she calls upon it, she sees somebody in the diaspora. It doesn't matter where in the diaspora, but like, cause at one point she says, I see the people in Brazil working in, I see this man in Brazil working in the sugarcane fields, and I see this I see this woman who's on the bottom of a slave vessel, you know, like, it was just every time it was just it. The part that I think I liked about it is that it just showed how connected we are as a people, you know, even though like we're all in different parts of the world, of course, but just that connection. The sword was the connection of, you know, just pain for us. And I don't think it was just pain, but like also like vengeance and justice. So the pain of the ancestors and the people that caused the pain, right? Because it wasn't just the pain of the ancestors, it was the soul of the kings that sold us or sold their brothers and sisters into slavery. And then we find out at the end, crazy enough, that because she was like, how come it's only like the souls of the kings that sold us into slavery? How come there ain't no white people up in there too? And it was like, oh, that's a whole nother sword. I said, yes, but that was at the end. Oh, if you don't know, spoilers. Of course there's spoilers. I posted what I believe they were describing for the sword in comics and books. Let me see. Let me see it. Oh, let me scroll down. Oh my God. Hell yeah, but they also said, oh my God. But they also said that it was like it had like a leaf. It looks like so this would be like a leaf sword. And I'm pretty sure like it has embellishments and stuff. Yeah, leaf shape. Oh, your mind. Yes. Because it looks like a leaf. Fuck yeah. Thank you. Not leaf shape. Leaf, 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 leaf. With an F. Your mind. Oh, shit. I was thinking it was curved. Right, K Majesty. I was thinking it was curved, like those curved swords from like Aladdin. But I actually like that better. I like yours better. That'll just be the letter P. BT, do not get timed out during book club, because I will time you out. That part had you shook. Like, what do you mean there's another sword? Right. So to finish my short synopsis before we get into discussion. Anyway, what was I talking about? So the sword. So she meets we were talking about the sword. Boom. So she could pull a sword filled with the anger and the vengeance and the pain and the justice of our ancestors and the people that enslaved them in order to, defeat the Ku Kluxes, right? The demons. Also, where did I leave? They meet the butcher. That's where I left off. Boom. So they meet the butcher, and the butcher is essentially like, I have this grand scheme and I'm going to bring I need your, well, basically he wants to bring back the Cyclops lady, and of course Maurice is like, no. And she went to him because he invaded her dream. So she went to him and he was like, oh, you paid me a visit, just know I'm gonna pay your ass a visit too. And he was a ginger. Yes. Let me shut my mouth. I was gonna say a joke and it was inappropriate. So they go out partying. The girls go out partying. They're having a good time. They're dressed. She said, when we go out, we get dressed to the nines, baby. She was like, me and my gang, we dress to impress. We might be, killing haints all day or whatever, demons all day. But when we dress, we dress. They're having a good time. She has a man who's from, I think, St. Lucia. Was he from St. Lucia? They hunch, which honestly, y'all know I don't really like sex in books, but that was written really well, because when she said, do that thing I like, and he started speaking in his Creole, I said, oh dear. What? And she was like, I needed this. I was like, me too, girl. Not a tear ran down my thigh. Hello? It was very tasteful. I was like, see, this is how you, or is it this? This is how you write. This is how you write some smut, okay? That was a good scene too. And Sadie was over there giving Lester the works. You want to know what I pictured when she was saying that? I pictured that the scene from Don't Be a Menace to Society. I'm gonna shit on these walls, Ray. But without the nastiness. Though. She was banging that headboard, okay? That Scary Movie 2. I thought it was Don't Be a Menace. That's not Scary Movie 2, y'all. That's Don't Be a Menace. Oh my God. Oh, y'all just made me feel so old. The Scary Movie 2 is when they were ghost hunting. Yeah, I'm not wrong. It was, there is no Ray in Menace. There is a Ray in Menace. Y'all, what? That's not Scary Movie. So what am I thinking of? There is a scene in Don't Be a Menace where she, Oh, y'all, am I? No, 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 no. There is a scene in Don't Be a Menace where they are hunching and she's going crazy. Someone look it up and show her. Oh, and Don't Be a Menace, she turns into a demon. Scary Movie 2, she's dirty talking. Oh, she turns into a demon? Okay, y'all right, I'm wrong, my bad. Y'all right, I'm wrong, my bad. Because I remember she drank the 40 ounce all the way down. And then it was hunching. And then I know she had ugly feet. And it was, well, maybe I was wrong. I was wrong. Are you talking about when she was humping the ghost? No, that's not what I was talking about. Anyway, back to the book. God damn. Tomato. Okay, I got my movies mixed up. It was made by Wayans, both of them, so it really doesn't matter. Whatever. What's up, Joe Marie? Oh boy. Anyway, shit. Where were we? Anyway, so everybody hunched that night. For the most part. Then that's when the dream happened. Correct. Where yeah, that's when the dream happened, when everybody hunched. Then she went to go see the butcher. Then what did they do after that? I don't need to go into really like specifics, but is essentially they find out like you know, the weaknesses of the demons, right, to kill them more efficiently. And I think that same night, while they're figuring out like how to kill the demons more efficiently and like figure out what are they. Oh, and we also, that's when we meet what's her name, what's the grandma name? And I didn't talk about the Hainties yet. I will talk about the Hainties. I thought it was interesting. The Choctaw people appeared after hearing of them in Sinners. Wait, what? I wonder if oh yeah, I wonder if it's the area or how our two groups connect. Sinners took place in Mississippi, so I think the Choctaw might be a southern tribe. No, the old Geechee lady, Nana Jean. Yes, we meet Nana Jean. We meet the Shouters, which was also one of my favorite parts of the book. And they, you know, they have like a whole operation there where, you know, they hunt the demon clans members or whatever. The thing that me and Nana Jean would not get along, because she talk about don't kill the human clans members, huh? What you mean? What you mean, Nana Jean? Oh my God. Lost me there. Yeah, we met Emma, who's a German Jewish woman. This also takes place around right after the First World War. You have a theory about this? Ma, I see you in the Discord. I'm gonna hop in there as soon as I'm done with my little synopsis. That's a 2-for-1 special, pretty much. She needs them to remain pure. I know, but me and Nana Jean wouldn't see eye to eye, and neither did Maurice with that one. I needed a translator for Nana Jean. So for whenever I see dialect that's not like in, you know, standard English or whatever, I always have to read it out loud, and then I get what they are saying. Like, I actually like the fact that they put Gullah Geechee in the book or whatever, but I just had to read it out loud, and I was like, oh, that's what you mean. So, and it's the same, like if you've ever read who is it that uses, is it Toni Morrison? Which author uses like Southern deep South dialect in their books a lot? I think it's Toni Morrison. I believe so. Zora Neale Hurston, hell yeah. Phew. Yeah, I just have to read it out loud. Exactly that. And honestly, if you're from the south of Atlanta, it low-key sounds like them. When in doubt, sound it out. Sound it out. You liked hearing her talk though and reading the Gullah language. I know. I don't think Toni Morrison uses dialect. I don't remember. I've got to remember what Toni Morrison book I read. Zora Neale Hurston's Mary Monroe is a modern example. You use the audiobook too and it helped. So they, you know, where was I? Where was I? I'm trying to remember the book. So they're all chilling, basically eating after they figure stuff out, and then boom, oh shit, the club that your boyfriend owns, Maurice, just so the dude from St. Lucia, he owns that club that they was at where they went out. It's on fire. The clans is out there. What? Rush out the door. Boom. They pull up to the club, right? And they see not only the human clansmen, but they see the demon clansmen and like people running, because it's not only just a club, it's a club / like inn, hotel or whatever. So they see people trying to scramble out, and the clan locked the back door, so everybody had to come out the front door. And as the people are coming out the front door, of course, they're whipping them with whips and stuff like that. And so you know, they devised like a little plan. It ain't that much of a plan because everybody kind of, you know, just does their thing. And so Maurice goes through the back door, goes in, trying to find her man, trying to get people out or whatever. And eventually she's fighting. And in this part, I pictured it in anime form because she's fighting a whole bunch of the demon clan or whatever. She's getting people out. And they reach a point where they're trying to get this last couple out. Sadie comes in to help. Sadie's like, take these two out. I got it. I'll be right behind you. Just take them out. And she's like leading the other demon clans away. Maurice gets the two people out, and then Chef is like, okay, where's Sadie? And she was like, shit. So she rushed back in to get Sadie. Sadie dead, y'all. And you wanna know what's so crazy? You wanna know? Oh, it was Lester who said it. You wanna know what's so crazy is that I was like, Sadie's a likable character. I'm pretty sure she's gonna die. I knew she was gonna die because I'm like, she's very likable. She's the personality. I was like, yeah. After I watched Welcome to Derry and what they did to Richie, now every time I see a likable character in a book or anywhere in any media, I'm just like, and that's a common theme anyway. They just want to pull on your heartstrings. One had to go, and I just knew it was gonna be her. And she was mad talented. Yeah, she was a really good sniper. Yes. The scream that I scrum internally. I almost started crying at work when I read that part. Right. It's like a rule whenever there are three main characters. Yep. Just spoil Welcome to Derry. I mean, sorry, it's been out for forever. Well, not forever, but it's been out for a minute. My bad. One always goes and the other two fight about it. Sadie was blowing them Ku Kluxes down in that juke joint. She really was. And she says her N words with the big N, not the little N. That's what I'd be like. I was like, oh, I say my N words with the big N all the time. I was worried that they take out Chef early because she's so butch. Glad the book didn't buy into that. I didn't think that they was gonna take out Chef because Chef fought in a war, which was really crazy. Crazy background with Chef. Chef disguised herself as a man to fight in World War I. So I was like, there's no way that she fought in the war and they bring her back just to die to the demon clan. I was like, nah, Chef gonna make it. I kind of knew it was gonna be Sadie. I knew Chef wasn't gonna die. Nah. And honestly, Chef was the grounded character, and they rarely kill off the grounded character. They only kill off the grounded character when they want everybody to like fall apart, when they want to like, when a writer or a creator wants to tear the whole shit down, that's when they kill off a grounded character. When they want you to feel something, they kill off the likable character. When they're just total psychopaths, they kill off the main character. Oh boy. That's what happened to you know who from Sinners. Pretty much. Sadie went out like a boss. When Sadie died, I crashed out internally. Listen. When she said it looked like she wasn't leaving tonight. They were also young. They were very young, yes. But yeah. There's still so much backstory on the table. There really is. I'm just giving like a quick little something so that way I could get into this call with Mo. So let me continue. Fuck. Where was I? Sadie dies. So, and then we find out that they took Maurice's boyfriend hostage. So they have to come up with a whole plan. So mind you, this whole time, there's gonna be a rescreening of that terrible ass, fuck ass movie, A Birth of a Nation, right? And the demon, well, basically Butcher is gonna use that moment to essentially get more demons into the fold, because of course the people in the South go crazy over A Birth of a Nation because of all of the themes and everything that it represents. And you know, that they made that racist ass movie at a time where, you know, Black people were getting their freedom or got their freedom. So basically, if you've never seen A Birth of a Nation, it's about what is The Birth of a Nation? And I watched the movie because I had to watch it during African American film in college. But it's basically about the antebellum South and the Confederacy and, you know, whatever. Look it up. I don't want to talk about it because that movie's ass. The movie and the book by two creators were a form of sorcery for the Klan. Yes. F that movie. And it was basically about like a whole bunch of Black people going around committing crimes and assaulting white people, and you know, if we don't keep the N-words under control, look what happens ass type of movie. Look it up. You don't have to watch it. If you want to just, you know, do a Wikipedia search, that's all you really need to do, because the movie was not that groundbreaking. Anyway, yes, and the movie did reinvigorate the Klan. Yes. I loved how they built this book around a real Birth of a Nation history. You remember reading about research connecting Birth of a Nation and the presence of the Klan. The first movie screened at the White House, and look at where we are today. Let me sip my non-alcoholic wine that I spilled half on my floor. Anyway, so yeah, I was gonna get me into an uncle rant. No, I was gonna get myself into an uncle rant. So Butcher takes everybody to, well, the people that they kidnap, they take them to Stone Mountain. So if you don't know the history about the Stone Mountain, about Stone Mountain was the birthplace of the Klan, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody fact check that for me. But basically it is a lot of Klan activity used to go on at Stone Mountain. So they're having like a screening at Stone Mountain to get more people to turn into demons. So Maurice and them devise a plan. They have to go up there to rescue rescue, of course, the people that they kidnapped, and then take all the motherfuckers out before they resurrect the Cyclops. The Butcher kind of reminded me of Remick. I thought of the Butcher as old dude from The Walking Dead, Abraham from The Walking Dead. It's crazy because we talked about him not too long ago. It was either Abraham from The Walking Dead, or it was gonna be the dude from Hellboy. So the KKK was founded in some small town in Tennessee. Thank you. You imagine the Butcher's John Goodman? I could never look at John Goodman in that light. Not me picturing Roadhog from Overwatch. Stone Mountain had a large ass chapter. Yeah, it was something at Stone Mountain that went on with the clan. They do their they do their witchcraft up there. I'm so dead ass. A lot of people do witchcraft on Stone Mountain in general, but Stone Mountain has some sinister ass energy on it, and a lot of people, yeah. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Don't forget about the Night Doctors. I'm getting there, y'all. Because there's so much shit that I forgot. I haven't talked to y'all about the Hainties, and I haven't talked to y'all about the Night Doctors, which creeped me the fuck out. What's up, Salvia? You picture Bluto from Popeye. Oh no. Inject the book into my veins. Stone Mountain is the mountain that they carved the Confederates into. Yes, they did. And they're still there, going strong. Yeah, the Night Doctors are very terrifying. So they devised a plan to go and rescue. What's up, Shoto? What's up, Orzu? They devised a plan to go and rescue the people and to defeat the demons. So by doing this, Maurice is gonna need a little bit of help because there's a lot of demons, because you know the South is filled with hate. Still kind of is. Stone Mountain is a bald mountain, so it makes sense since witches would be up there. Stone Mountain's not really technically a mountain; it's a rock, but a big boulder. A boulder. I got two stone. I'm trying not to be naughty. Damn, y'all keep distracting me. So they devised a plan. One of the plans, so the Hainties, so Maurice gets the power of the sword essentially through, the sword comes from Haints. The sword is a Haint device, and which is crazy because Nana Jean don't fuck with Haints, so she don't really like the three Hainties, right? So Maurice can go into this other realm, and there's three kind of matronly like figures that help her and guide her. I don't remember their names because, you know, I don't remember names. Terrible at names. But there's the one that's nice. There's the one that's mean. Kind of not mean, but, you know. And it kind of reminds me of like real aunties. There's that one that's like persnickety, and then there's the one that's super nice, and then there's another one that's like that looks like a little girl or whatever, and that's real mysterious. And they could see like she could see all different realms, and it kind of reminds me of the three fates from Greek mythology. That's what I was getting when I saw them. And they take the form of, you know, black aunties. But every once in a while, Maurice can, like, she'll blink and she'll see their true form. And she says they kind of look like foxes. And then like they have like a mask on their face. It's like a skin mask, which is crazy. I do love how we got a Gullah Geechee elder who saw that storm coming, and the Haint aunties, neither were seen as right, just part of the fabric, right? Parallels to the folklore. I like how they're not portrayed as good or bad. They're so otherworldly that their motives and action exist and outside of a spectrum. Exactly. And I think most entities wouldn't be benevolent or malevolent. I think that, something, I think like with anybody, they're just looking out for their own existence and survival. Even though some might be more benevolent than others and some might be more malevolent than others, but I don't think any entity is like, oh, so good and oh, so bad. So, I think most entities are going to be opportunistic, right? Because humans are opportunistic, very much so. Like, do some of us have more empathy than others? Do some of us try to be, good people or whatever? Yeah, but every human being is capable of doing bad things. So, and yes, there was a lot of connections to Brer Rabbit and the trickster stories. Yes, they couldn't hide their true teeth. So she gets her sword and her powers from the three entities, the Hainties, and they see, first of all, the Butcher and the Hainties are from the same place. They're both Haints. So they kind of like they know about each other. They're in the same realms. They fuck with the same people. A lot of this shit is beyond us, beyond the story or whatever. Nobody knows anybody's motives. But yeah. So they tell Maurice, like, okay, you're gonna need help. You need to go to you need to talk to the doctor. And who was the mean one? Margaret was the mean one. Margaret was like, oh God, no, not the doctor. Do not send her there. And then Odine is like, Odine's the nice one, I think, right? Odine was like, I guess you could go over there. Because Jadine is the one who was like, go to the doctor. So Maurice has to go to like this big skin tree. That's how I pictured it. Because when she said she had to stick her hand through the tree, it's like basically a tree with like, didn't they say that it was like skeletons and shit hanging from the tree? Like it was like a weird ass tree that appeared out of nowhere. She had to go into the tree and it felt like skin. When she went into the tree, it was like blood and guts and stuff all over her. What are we talking about? We're doing book club. Margaret called them amoral, and she was right. Exactly. The tree moment low-key reminded me of Sleepy Hollow, the show. So she goes to the tree and then she meets what was his name? Was he the doctor? Not the tree ussy. They called him, what was his name? I think he was based off of a real character. Well, not a real character, but a real person too. So essentially she goes in there, she meets this other being who Bissett. Thank you, K Majesty. So she meets Bissett, Dr. Bissett, I think that's his name. Cause he is a doctor, and he gave his mortality to be, thank you for the follow, welcome in. He gave his mortality to be amongst the night doctors. The night doctors I pictured as the gray aliens, but like with extra like long limbs. Cause that's all I could think of. Cause that is like, of course this book would have aliens. Not Dr. BT. Oh dear. Oh, you picture Slender Man? Kind of sort of similar. Yeah, of course this book would have aliens. But I mean, it makes sense though. I'm just saying. So anyway, in order for her to, from the mountains of Virginia, right? In order to get help from them, the Night Doctors, she had to give a piece of herself. That was the price. So they dissected her ass to look to see where her fear came from. And she found out that her fear, she, worked through it. Come to find out, in the past, the Klan came and killed her mother, father, and brother. And she has to confront her fears, her angers, and everything, her pain. And by that, she becomes like even stronger. But she also kind of fights the Night Doctors. She's like, you ain't about to probe my pain. Get the fuck up off me. So yeah, she did lose her sword after that big battle. So she had to get her sword back. And that was one of the ways she got her sword back. So they kick her out. Dr. BT kicks her out. I think the Night Doctors are also a real folklore from the Civil War. Doctors would dissect Black people for research. Yep. So Dr. BT kicks her out, and she gets her sword back. She confronts her fear and her pain. So now she's stronger. I feel like I'm missing something from that section. No, I think I got everything from that section. Okay, so they go, now we're not, why am I in it? Because for some reason we find BTs everywhere. It's not my fault your name is BT. Oh, and she wasn't sure that they were gonna help because she didn't let them fully get what they wanted. Yes. So she was like, are y'all gonna help? Dr. BT said, hell nah. Look at what you done did to my people. Kicked her ass out. Crazy work, BT. And yes, the sword gets fixed though. So she has her sword. Now BT is gonna get slurred the rest of the stream. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna slur him. Anyway, I've already gone over my time. We get to the mountain. Mind you, they have a whole coalition. So it's not just the people from Macon. They have people from Atlanta who came down to help. They have people from like parts of Tennessee, basically the whole South. The whole South comes, well, not the whole South, but the whole organization from the South comes because this is a real threat, right? And they get to the mountain and they see like hundreds of Klansmen. Some of them the Demon Clan, some of them the regular clan. They see hundreds of Klansmen staring at a birth of a nation. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, some of them start turning into Demon Clan. And they see lined up the people that they kidnapped. So of course they're trying to devise a plan, but then Maurice is like, you know what? Let me just go up there, because he said that he would, the butcher basically said that he had an offer for her, right? So she goes up there, her and Chef, and he was like, oh, I thought you wouldn't come. And she was like, you knew I was gonna come, nigga, shut up. So she gets up there, she was like, okay, so what's your plan? Because she was like, I think I know what your plan is. I don't want you to bring back my mom and my dad and my brother. She was like, no. And he was like, huh, you thought that was a plan? That wasn't the plan, girl. Your family dead. Dead as hell. What shoes they got on? She was like, oh, damn. And he was like, no, the plan was I could give you. He was basically like, you see all this stuff that I'm doing to the clan. I'm making them strong. I'm making them into demons or whatever. But he was like, that type of hate, demons don't like that type of hate. We don't like to feed on that type of hate because it's like willing hate. Like it's like getting McDonald's when you hungry. He was like, the type of hate that Black people should have, because you notice how he said should. And mind you, I have a quote. Oh, thank God, my phone's right here. He said the hate that Black people should have is the hate that we want, because that's like eating a steak medium rare with some onions and cabbage and a sweet potato. But he was like, I could give you all that. I could give you your vengeance. I could give you everything. I think I have the quote. Hold on. But you will just have to open yourself up for the Cyclops lady. And Maurice thought about it though. I like the fact that she thought about it, because honestly, really, truly, I would have thought about it too. Not and have the tendernism. The butcher wanted well-earned intergenerational hate, and for context, the butcher is actually just a bunch of mouths on one being. Yes, that part creeped me out. I did not like that part. No. Stuff like that gives me the heebie-jeebies. Annotations. Let's see. Hold on, there it goes. I think I found it. All right. So I'm gonna read an excerpt from the book that You only have to say yes, Maurice, Butcher Clyde argues. Accept the gift. Should be easy for me to say no to these damn monsters to hell and beyond. But Butcher Clyde's words are in my head and I can't shake them out. What they are offering me is power. Power to protect, power to avenge, power over the life and death of my people. When color folks ever had anyone offer us so much? When we ever had the power not to be scared no more? Ain't we been suffering and dying all this time at the hands of monsters in human form? What difference then if we make a pact with some other monsters? What we owe this world that so despises and brutalizes us? Why lift a hand to save it when it ain't never done a damn thing to save us? Oh! Lord have mercy. Oh man. So yeah, she thought about that shit. She was like, man. I did take notes. Yes, I have a couple of excerpts that I'm Also, it puts what Grandma Geechee said into context about why she doesn't kill the White Klansman, because she feels that call from the demons and or hates. They want her to hate, not necessarily something I agree with, but I like the depth. I noted down some of that hate conversation on page 148. Look at us taking notes. If she would have accepted, I don't think I could have been mad. She could have been like, okay, bookends. I would have been perfectly fine. I would have been perfectly fine with the ending. Oh, okay. But the whole thing is, the reason why she doesn't accept, because at the end of the day, when you make deals with demons are very opportunistic. Like, we just literally sat up here. So it's not even like the power doesn't come with terms and conditions. Because she even said, I don't think I noted this. I don't think I took an God damn it. How come you can't recognize my face? Sometimes when I wear different glasses, I really... Hold on. Oh, yeah. I found it. Okay. So this is the other excerpt as to why she didn't accept it. The words of the girl, my other self from the dream place, strikes with sudden understanding. The places where we hurt, not just me, all of us, color folks everywhere who carry our wounds with us, sometimes open for all to see, but always so much more buried and hidden deep. I remember the songs that come with all of those visions, songs full of hurt, songs of sadness and tears, songs pulsing with pain, a righteous anger and a cry for justice, but not hate. They ain't the same thing, never was. These monsters want to pervert that, turn it to their own ends, because that's what they do. Twist you all up so that you forget yourself, make you into something like them. Only I can't forget, because all those memories always with me, showing me the way. I smile and a cleansing breath cools the fire beneath my skin. This was my test, and I think I just passed. I flick my eyes to Butcher Clyde. You said tonight they all just meet. He looks confused for once. I appreciate that. That's what you call these clans, just meet. Not sure we follow. First time back at your shop. You said we was all meat, no matter the skin. You said we were all here just for you to use up. I nod to the Ku Kluxes. You do that to us what they let you do to them. If I gave you that chance, that's right. He don't answer. Just put on a jack-o'-lantern grin, but it speaks well enough. I smile back, lower my hand, and call up my sword. See? So she couldn't, oh God. So she figured it out. Like, if we allowed you to give us this power, at the end of the day, like, we're all meat to you. This is all a game. Like, but my people aren't a game. I'm not about to give my people up to you just for you to use us and abuse us like you do in these clans. And they giving it to you willingly. You know what I'm saying? So that was her decision process. But I'm on my burn the world down type shit. So I would have been like, you right. We all me. I'm just kidding. So she beats Butcher Clyde. She beats the Cyclops. You know, she saves her man. Everything. The night doctors do come and help. And they come and they drag the Cyclops back into their realm because they're going to dissect the fuck out of that Cyclops. And that leaves Maurice to fight Butcher Clyde. She kills Butcher Clyde. Then she has to fight all the clans. They kill the clans, her and the group of people that came with them. And they were kind of getting their asses handed to them. And this is the part that made me tear up a little bit. Nana Jean does her shout. And it calls down like all of the people and ancestors that were killed by the Ku Kluxes, the demons, and they essentially helped them win the fight. That was like, oh, okay, you got me there. You got me. Believe me, I was crying in this Discord call while doing laundry. And I was like, damn, they got me. And then they get to see Sadie again. And, you know, Sadie gives them like last words. Maurice gets to see her brother again. He gives her some words. And I think that's it. They beat the rest of the clansmen. And then the final scene, you see Maurice with the Hainties. And they're basically telling her like, your work's not done, you know. Well, they're asking her. They're not telling her, because she could just be like, nah, I don't want to do this no more. And she was like, yeah, I'll still be your champion. And yeah, they tell her about the other sword and that there's something else dark brewing in I think in Virginia. No, Rhode Island. I think she has to, hopefully we get a sequel, but she goes to Rhode Island. Well, they're supposed to go to Rhode Island next. And can anybody who's familiar with history, what was happening in Rhode Island around that time? Why did they specifically say Rhode Island? Like, what was going on? And that was my very quick synopsis of the book. Yeah, around the 1920s, what was going on? I was half being snarky, but at the end of the day, a dead Klansman is a dead Klansman regardless of the reason they were murdered. If all she got to do is say she killed a non-hate related reason, I feel like it will be a black man that took the deal. She didn't. Wait, what? Do you think so? Do you think in that instance, because I think, is this a question that we should be discussing during Black History Month? and in mixed company. I don't know if I want to discuss it. Oh, never mind. Now I'll cover my ears. I don't want to make that distinction. I have my opinion. New England textile strikes. That's what was going on. All right, Mo, I'm about to hop into this call. Where you at? Where you at? Mo! Wait, it's still connecting. Oh my God, it takes so long. Mo! Baby daddy.
Oh, oop, not me. Forgot I was muted. Hi.
Hi. Yay. I love when you get on the call with me and discuss things. It's so fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man. Anything you want to add to my brief my very brief synopsis?
Let me scroll through.
Rhode Island had a huge Klan spike in 1920s. Ah, okay. The government was.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah, the government was going around.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just reading.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they knew about the Klan, the Ku Kluxes. Go ahead.
So you were reading the quote about, because the quote that I highlighted was the section before. So this is in chapter 8. This is about like 75% through. This is where Butcher Clyde is discussing or talking to Maurice about the offer and why he wants to use. And I think this quote is important because, yes, I think that Maurice's response is important, but I think that the offer itself is important.
Yes.
So he says, and I quote, you see, the hate they give is
I highlighted this.
Yes. You see, the hate they give is senseless. They already got power. Yet they hate over those who they got control, who don't really pose no threat to them. Their fears aren't real, just insecurities and inadequacies. Deep down, they know that. Makes their hate like watered down whiskey. Now, your people, his eyes light up and he steps closer. Y'all got a good reason to hate. All the wrongs been done to you and yours, a people who've been whipped and beaten, hunted and hounded, suffered so grievously at their hands. You have every reason to despise them, to loathe them for the centuries of deprivations. The hate, that hate would be so pure, so sure and righteous, so strong. And literally that quote, when I read that, I was like, oh,
yeah.
I was like, yeah, bestie.
And you see how he said,
when I read that, I was like,
he said, you should have every reason to hate. You notice how he didn't put in that we hate them. He said, y'all have every reason to hate them. It was like, he was basically like saying they hate you for nothing, and y'all should hate them, but look at you, you don't. Which is crazy to me, because at the end of the day, I don't think as a whole Black people hate white people. I don't think we have that in us. Are we weary? Yes. Are we wary? Yes. Are we suspicious? Yes, because we've seen history. At the end of the day, we just want what's ours. We want what's owed to us, and we want to be left alone, and we want equity, and we want equality. But we don't want to hate white people because we know we have to live with these motherfuckers. So it's like, at the end of the day, we just want you to you don't even have to accept us. Just leave us alone and give us what we're due and be equal. So That's what I took from it. Like, you should hate these motherfuckers, but you don't. So, yeah, man.
And I think that is like something that you kind of see, kind of what we were talking about before, with the situation that happened at the award show that you were discussing earlier.
Yeah.
Like the empathy and the sympathy with which Black people give white people, but not only white people, but other communities, get like, you know, other communities, you know, to not even necessarily, not that we feel like, you know, we're giving them a pass, but because I feel like sometimes we know and understand what it's like to be disenfranchised and be displaced and all of these things, and that we just we don't go out of our way. I can't say that now, because I definitely think that now we are definitely more like absolutely not chopping block, you know.
Yeah, right.
Right. But in the past, it's been very much like, yeah, we'll steer clear, but we're not gonna like actively, you know, do anything about it.
Right.
Right. We'll warn others, but we won't actively.
We'll warn them, but they don't listen. They don't listen at all. Listen.
So, let's see. Do you think that the lady saw the error of her ways after surviving the Ku Kluxes? Okay, so I don't know if you said this in your summary.
I didn't.
I feel like you did, but I don't. Okay.
No, I didn't bring her
so
up.
very end. Oh, okay. The very end, there is a white woman and her child who Maurice has made eye contact with, who Maurice has encountered previously when she initially went to go see Butcher Clyde at the butcher shop when it opened. That white lady does not eat the meat that was served at Butcher Clyde. She never ate it, and because she never ate it, she never turned into the Ku Kluxes, one of the Ku Kluxes, so one of the monstrosities. And so because of that, she is survived. She survives all of the horrors that happened during the night. And I feel like that's a commentary about a lot of what's happening now. I'm gonna be honest, because when Black people tell you time and time again that the stove is hot,
it's hot on the bottom.
That the stove is hot. And we pat your hand and we say, hey, don't put your hand on that stove. That stove is hot. And you still put your hand on that stove. It literally has taken that white woman and her child to put their hand on the stove, burn their hand and say, oh shit, it's hot. And they understand not even all of what they have gone through, but a little bit.
Am I the only one? And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one, but am I the only one who don't give a fuck when people come to their senses?
And I think that was very, very shown in the book.
Yeah.
Because Maurice and Chef very much was like, girl, please, finally. And then they went on about their business.
Right. We're not about to be like, oh, thank you. No, like, okay, and
yeah.
I do not care. They'd be like,
because, again, just like today, we have said, we've said time and time again, we get that you quote unquote learn, or we get that you see it, but we don't give a fuck because you said it so many times. You should have been seeing it all them times ago. So now that you see it, you're on your own, bestie. I'm sorry.
Right. Like, so, I was a Trump supporter and I see the error of my ways. Okay.
You can stop right there.
Exactly. And it's and at the end of the day, it's still fuck you. I understand that some people are like, well, you do have to call people in, but I ain't calling nobody. I'm sorry. I'm not that evolved yet. It's not me. It ain't gonna be me.
I feel like look, there are certain people you can call in, and there are certain people. I feel like the people you can call in are the people in your community. As Black people, we can't call in white people. We can't.
No.
That's not our spot. That's not our place.
Unless they already having they down for the cause and they show and prove. Like, that's why y'all think I'm playing. The white people in my life, and they know it, they have to prove every day that they're down for the cause. There is no slipping. If you have to be down for the cause 24/7, 365. To be white in my life is
I'm black 24/7,
365. To be white in my life is a constant proving ground.
Please.
We only call in white people when they've already proved themselves, right? Not while being chained up in the basement. Shut up. There are no Twitter threads. Listen, oh, please don't get me started on that. But that wasn't a white person who did that. So that's another story. Anyway, so
yes,
let's not go down memory lane.
Yes, yeah. So the first thing that I want to discuss is the very beginning of the story. We open up and we're at a parade, celebratory situation, and it's the 4th of July. Now, I feel like starting off the fact that it's the 4th of July, I was like, Busty, we're just kind of going in hot and heavy, ain't it?
Right.
Hot and heavy. The 4th of July in Macon, Georgia. And I like the comparison of how the folks in previous, as I quote unquote say, previous times were ashamed and they covered their faces with the hoods, and now here we are, 1920s. They don't give a shit about that. They're just out there frolicking in the trees, in the sun, whatever. And I felt a little bit away about the fact that it's the 4th of July. I understood the symbolism of it being the 4th of July. But I feel like the reason that because of the date and the time period was why we ended up getting that fighting scene. Because there's a lot of magic happening, not, obviously not favoriting our three main characters, but there is that magic there with the Ku Klux. And so even with all of that, I immediately was hit with the notion that this book, on both sides of the playing field, is covered in community. And I want to talk about that as we're doing our discussion, because obviously we're a community as the wilderness, but
yes.
Yeah. So there's a lot of times where you'll have communities that like build each other up, like I would like to think that we do here. But as you can see, when there was tragedy with the girls or the women, excuse me, with the women and all of them, they were able to build each other back up, and things were great. Even when shit was going down at Frenchie's, they went and helped their community. The community recognized them. It wasn't like they were storm blazing and the community was like, who the fuck are these people? The community knew who they were. Whether they knew what powers they had or not, they did know who they were.
Right.
I thought was interesting. And then on the opposite end, you have this community of white people who really don't even know who's in their community, because, for them, it's very... like, I think in the beginning they were talking about how the police in the area didn't really fuck with the Klansmen, and the Klansmen, but it was very much like, we still gonna be buddy because why not?
Of course.
And I do like the tie, right? And I do like the call to the ties of the government entities with being complacent with really allowing what was happening, even though even if they didn't really agree with it, it was still allowed and there was still complacency. So
Mm.
I liked the call to that. Yeah, and they didn't give a fuck because you didn't really see nothing about the government until at the end
At the
when they
end,
wanted to
right.
cover shit up.
Right.
And
But
yeah,
they knew
and
though. I
so
think they're just doing
yeah.
their own like little research or whatever.
Mhm.
And you already know, like I really feel like the government it was trying or is actively in that universe trying to find a way to control it because the government
Mhm.
in most movies and media or whatever are always trying to find a way to control an entity or something to make it a weapon of war, just like in Welcome to Derry. That pissed me,
Right.
oh god, that
Right.
pissed me off so bad. So
Right.
yeah. Mm-hmm. The police thing.
So and this is one thing that you had brought up. Yo,
Mhm.
yeah. The police didn't fuck with the Klan because they didn't want the Klan to have full power because they lose power. Very
Mhm.
police behavior, yes. Also the 1910s government and the government didn't care about doing crimes against humanity with humans on humans. They just didn't care. Yeah.
They didn't.
No, they didn't. I do like the both literal and metaphorical context of monster hunting used in this book as well, because for us as Black people, well, first of all, let me back up. When people look at when other people, when non-Black people look at Black people, we'll start there because there are people who are of color who look at Black people and still see us as monsters. There's a lot of times where we are painted as the villain or brutes. There's always that negative symbolism, synonymous wording, and all that. But for us, we have another way to look at monsters, and for us, it's people who are going to be trying to tear our communities and families apart, which in this particular sense are the Klansmen, like that historically for IRL and in the context of this book are the people who have been oppressing these communities, but as well as the Ku Kluxes themselves as people who are actual monsters that we are fighting. So I really liked what Clark did here with that as well. One of the first things I highlighted, aside from the situation about the N-word, because I want to talk about that because I immediately thought about the community. Yes.
When I read the N-word,
I highlighted it. Yes.
My eyes were like, oh my god, what is this word I've never said before in my life?
Yes. Please. But with the dogs, I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Because like one of the things that I think about a lot is how white people are very quick to like, save animals, and they're very much like, oh well, we gotta go adopt this animal, or we gotta adopt to like the ASPCA or like stuff like that before they'll ever like bat an eye at any sort of mutual aid or funding or whatever. So I thought that was very, very interesting on the author's part for that to be the thing.
Right.
But I also feel like that kind of, in my mind, made the Ku Kluxes more horrific, because in my brain I was like, well, if they out here eating dogs too, sister,
right,
like, then what else do we do?
Nothing's safe.
So I don't know.
Not they've been pissed
Right,
since they've been pissed since they can't own us as animals anymore. Honestly, really, truly.
And they have been.
Yeah, that's true.
And like, honestly, to roll that into, I'm not gonna say the N-word but I want to read this because I think that rolls into
please
let me find it, because I said Meow Sadie.
Oh, I love Sadie.
Where? Yes,
I love her.
No, it's not that. Where's my notebook? My annotation. There we go.
I use Kindle, so I just be like highlight, and
Yeah, that's what that's where I am.
Mhm. Oh boy.
So
Also, before you get into your quote, we do have to talk about the conversation between Chef and Emma about socialism.
yes.
Do you have any notes from that?
So I
have a couple.
By this point, I was up doing laundry, so I didn't get to write. At this point, I wasn't writing because me and Pooh were in
Fair enough.
audiobook. But I did make a mental note about that because I was like, that is very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think that people make that comparison. I do like that there was the portion about Emma talking about the way that Jewish people are looked, but I also love the fact that Cordy makes it very clear that even if Jewish people are looked a certain way, like, at the heart of it, Jewish people are able to do that. Like, we would be killed for that.
Yeah.
So I love that conversation a lot.
That conversation was really good.
I do. Yes. And I do like that how there was a callback to the conversation later when they were playing cards too. And Emma says, like, Cordy, you sound you sound like you sound like a socialist.
I feel like they be slick flirting. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a sequel and they end up being together. I feel like they would be slick flirting.
Oh, and if it was not mentioned before, because I don't know if we mentioned this or not, Chef is queer. Like, Chef is a queer Black woman in this book. Which I was like, shout out to Chef was making me blush and kicking my feet throughout this whole book. I said, okay. Listen. All right.
Oh, and Wood and the lady she was with at the club was plus size too. I said, Wood. Hello. Oh my God.
How that woman was soothing her when she had when she was having the PTSD. I was like, I love all of these. But you could tell that their relationship was very tender.
Very much so, yeah.
Very tender.
Oh my God.
But the quote is, so this is for context. Cordy has previously just told them about how at war in the trenches there was lice and rats, but the rats you could eat. So the context is, for survival, they ate rats in the trenches. Then we go on to talk about the French people could really cook really well, except the white folks in Macon, Georgia, they don't like no spices. Their food is bland like water. Is what the quote says.
Oh. Well.
Yeah. But then Sadie says, well, I don't know what type of white folks they got in France, but the ones they got here don't put proper seasoning in their food unless they got big N-words to do so for them. Her eyes widen. I wonder what big N-words smell like to Ku Kluxers. They think big N-words smell like burnt dogs to their noses, and that's why they come after us. So I wonder if there's even big N-words where they come from. And if Sadie, I snap, losing what little patience I got. Heaven knows I asked more than once to not use that word, at least in my presence. And then after this interaction, this specific interaction, I think this is where we learned that Sadie was yellow. It was light skinned.
Yeah.
Maybe we knew that a little bit before. But Sadie is light skinned, and I think that that's important in this context too.
She's half white because her mom was sexually assaulted by a white man.
So she's mixed. Black mother. And so it's very obvious in this conversation, and then as it goes on, Sadie goes on to say that for her, when she uses the big N, that she feels like is more respectful. Obviously, Maurice and Chef don't agree with this clearly,
right?
And just say, "Pray tell, what is it like for the little N?" And she's like, "Well, that's insulting, whatever." And Chef and Maurice are about to, give it a business on it, because they're like, obviously we don't agree with this. Clearly, the N-word is N-word.
Right.
Then and like Poog said, when we were listening, the N is not the part we should have been worried about.
Right. It's that ER.
It's the ER.
Oh boy.
I agree. But yeah, that I thought that was interesting because here's where we get a little taste of the discord with this colorism in
so
in the
you
book
thought
as well.
I thought she was, so your interpretation of that conversation was that Maurice didn't want her using the N-word because she was probably white presenting. I thought Maurice didn't want her to use that word because Maurice just didn't like that word. But
see, I think it's both. I think it's both. Because like she said, like I think she says it later, like when they're packing it up, like seeing like if she thinks it's gonna be weird if they just see her with a gun walking around.
Right.
They don't think that's weird with a rifle on her back,
because she looks
just
like
walking
a
around.
white girl. Well, not white girl, but like white presenting.
Yeah,
she could pass.
They
didn't like the N-word in 1920s.
Yeah,
some of them still used it. You think them niggas in Harlem Renaissance weren't using the N-word? It was nigga this, nigga that. I know that for a fact.
Yep, but listen, it was the A, not the ER.
It was more than likely the A. Oh shit. Oh man, I interpreted it as her trying to bury the word and making Georgia Johnny. I'm not fooling with you today. I'm not fooling with you today. If is the Malcolm X biopic is anything to go? Yeah, I mean, but it might be a regional thing too. I think black people in New York was using it, but I feel not New York, up in the north. I think it's more so, even though there was a great like migration, but if they were like first generation, second generation Northerners, that disconnect from having a white person call you the N-word or whatever on a daily basis is probably why they, put more light into the word. People in the South, I will say people in the South don't fuck around with the N-word as much as people up north. Like people up north be like, oh, well, they're Puerto Rican, but not black presenting Puerto Rican. They can say it. Whereas people in the South, they don't play that shit. They don't care if you is Puerto Rican. Yeah. They don't play those games. So Sin, thank you so much for the 5 months. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for 5 months of love and support. So yeah.
So, after this conversation, this is where we have our first fighting scene, if you will, in the game or in the book. I mean, hell, it felt like a game.
It did. I wish it was a game.
But in the book, we had our first fighting scene, and I'm just gonna say, up until this scene, I completely forgot that this is a horror book. I literally had to remind myself several times in this book, like, this is supposed to be a horror book. And obviously I feel like maybe you and I have had this conversation before, maybe not. And I know Deanna and I have had this conversation. But, and this is a bit of a side note, but I feel like I should say this. The way that black people write horror and the way that white people write horror is very different.
Oh, hell yeah.
even if we're not talking about anything in relation to our history or anything like that, the horrors that the things that we call horror is probably what would be like an everyday thing to some people.
Yeah.
But it is still like a horror, like the way that Djèlí Clark was able to take something that we have read, most people have read in history books about, and mix in the body horror element and make it extremely horrific. And I think even without the body horror, right? These are things where he took folklore that some of us have learned from our family members, and if we've done the research, even without a family members, things that we've learned, he was still able to use that and make it horrific. Because to me, I'm not gonna lie to you, I think it would scare the shit out of me if another version of myself that I visually and can remember, where I was at my lowest and my family members passed away, and I remember this version of myself, if it would scare the shit out of me if that version of myself came to me in a dream and saying, "Hey, bestie, they use our pain, then you better watch out." Like, what do you mean? That's gonna scare the shit out of me. Like, none of it is body horror. None of that is body horror, but very much facing yourself can be horrific, especially as non-white people.
Them ugly parts. Ooh.
Yes.
Oh, man. And I'm not talking physically. I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You really have to sit with yourself and be like, look at like, man, it's a whole nother, it is scary. Cause it's like we all put on that front. We all put on what we want people to see. But like when you are alone and there's nobody around you and there's no stimuli, you're not watching TV, you're just sitting with yourself, and them little ugly bits start to creep out before you can distract yourself with whatever the hell you got going on. That is. Cause
I know I'm skipping a little bit, but that part stuck out to me a lot too. Because one of the things that I wanted to say this earlier too, in reference to Nana Jean, the Hainties, and Butcher Clyde and the Weapon. Nana Jean, I don't think Nana Jean ever hated the Hainties at all. I think she's very
weary,
cautious.
Yeah.
Right. And I think she's cautious because I think the thing with Nana Jean that I kept realizing over time was that for her, it was about hate, which was the thing that we kept going back to with, these songs and even what were they called? What were these things called? The epitaphs and the little short little bits in between where someone was like reading different tidbits from other people in the communities about different time periods and like when the slaves were freed and like all of these other things, and these were like different shouts, I'm assuming. Like those things to me made me think that Nana Jean might not have known what the fuck was happening on the other side, but she might have had an inkling that. So
you don't think she was?
Baby's not careful.
You don't think she was tapped in? You don't think Nana Jean was tapped in to know like ain'ts like for real?
I mean, maybe she was, but I don't think she knew exactly.
I don't think she could see their faces like Maurice, but I think that she was able to sense them in a sense.
Oh, for sure. But what I mean is like she didn't know when shit was happening. Like,
oh, got you.
Like she didn't know when things happened.
But she did used to have like
That point in time. 'Cause
dreams.
when somebody said, like when Courtney said, well, sure, but I'm saying okay, the example I'm using here is like when the sword broke. Nana Jean didn't know that until they told her.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And the shock that she had on her face
when
she found that out was just like, oh shit. Like,
yeah.
Shit is getting real. Like when the sword broke, even though that was the thing that she was the most cautious of, she like you kind of have that realization that for me, that was when I was like, oh, okay, like she understands that she's not the only person that can guide this individual. Right. And you kind of have to be able to, that's when you as like a person that's teaching have to trust the person that you're teaching, because
got you
at that point. I think for Nana Jean, she says, I've told this baby all I can tell. I have to trust her to be able to go into this other world with the aunties, to be able to discern what is and what isn't, and come out and be able to tell what I need to tell her and go on whatever. Because how much she was like when she came back and they said, hey baby, you need to go to see these little doctors, and Nana Jean was like, the doctors, and she was like, yeah, she was like, I'll she wasn't necessarily agreeing, but she's like, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do, like,
right,
you know. So I mean, I do like that as well, where there was the I don't agree, but I understand your situation. Right? Like, I'm not gonna bar you from doing whatever the fuck it is that you need to do for you, because I understand. Right. So,
and I think she just had that.
I like that.
I think she just had that like old people foresight in general, you know. I feel like she could still sense some stuff. Like she's not like the one of the youngest Hainty, right? Where she could see all outcomes. But she could also feel because she's predicted what's her name's death, essentially. She was like, something's coming to either break you up. She was like, mind your friends, watch your friends. Because she was like, some bad shit's coming down. Like, she might not have had the full picture, you know, but she had that foresight or whatever. Like, even the fact, like you said, that she knew even where to go to get to the tree. You know, she was like, just go in the back, the tree will show up. She was like, go walk in them woods, them trees will show up or whatever. So I think it's more so, and plus once you get a certain age, it's kind of almost like it is what it is anyway. You you know, it's just like like you said, like the teacher eventually has to trust that the student picked up on the lessons that they were trying to learn. And if they don't, oh well, what are you gonna do about it? So yeah. She was given the grandma from the Ballad of Perilous Graves, kind of, sort of. And I did like the similarities between the two books. Yeah, kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
Hold on. There's stuff in the chat. Hold on. Nana Jean had ancestors as her mechanism rather than Haints. She knows some things, but when it comes to Haint things, she's disconnected. Yeah. And that's scary as an elder, to know you don't know everything about the world your kiddos are in. Within every culture, spirits are always to be treated with respect because they are volatile. Anything could put you on their bad side when it comes to working with them. You need to always be cautious of what you say and what you do, because most of the time nothing is ever as straightforward as it seems. Nana Jean is aware of that. That is very true. Yes. Speaking of the sword breaking, as much as it calls on spirits past, it also represents it is also representative of Maurice's spirit. Nana Jean had visions during the shouts. And I'm pretty sure Nana Jean was tapped in. Boom. On YouTube, I'm surprised that Nana panicked a little when she always seemed to distrust the Hainties. Well, that's fair though. I would distrust the Hainties too, because like we said, spirits and stuff are very opportunistic. They're going to preserve themselves even if it costs. Like, I think the Hainties, because at the end of the day, like, the spirit world depends on the physical world, right? And a lot of spirits, when they're written, I don't want to necessarily say feed off of, but it is like an energy thing. They kind of feed off of the living world, right? So it's like it's like just as much as we need the spirit world to exist, the spirit world needs us to exist as well. But there's the evil spirits that, you know, want to control how much they get fed. Whereas you have the Hainties who are like, we're good with what we got. There's no need to be greedy, because if you try to feed, look at what happens to the world. It's almost like billionaires versus the common man. Like, so yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else you got, Mo?
So the other thing that I want to talk about is gender roles.
Ooh, yes. I knew you was gonna bring some good conversations. All right, what you got?
So this book, I think that when we're first reading about, I want to talk about Sadie's decision. For the top of this, because when we're first reading about Sadie, and if you've read or if you've listened to the audiobook, you can kind of get the audible version of Sadie, and I think for the most part, most people will probably say that she's probably a pretty feminine person by personality, even though sister got a whole shotgun, got a whole rifle rather. And is good with it, as in, I think in the book they say never even went to like training for the war, but she's just country as fuck, good at it as fuck, like probably learned from her dad. All this, that's right, and it's easy to be delicate and feminine with a sniper rifle.
Well, yeah,
and when she gets in that juke joint, and she's talking to Lester. I actually really liked her relationship with Lester. Yeah. Because it showed a side of her that I don't know that we would have seen without Lester. Because like she's the baby of the group. And she's like the younger sibling of the group. But like in her conversations with Lester, and even really like the other men in the juke joint, like she is very informed, and she's very willing to listen to and debate, and I'm putting debate in quotations, but have discussions about politics and about geography and about all of these things. And I loved that because it just made her a very well-rounded character.
I like, if I could interject real quick, I like
sure, go ahead.
Let's get a little studious. I like the fact that her knowledge didn't come from a formal place, and
right,
because most like smarty pants characters in books, they're like just naturally smart, but she was curious and wanted to learn while being just like common, like just a regular person, and not formal, and a little gritty, because she chewed tobacco, and if you ain't never seen tobacco spit is stanky nasty. So I like that they just wrote her kind of like regular. You know what she remind me of a little bit? Her personality. Cardi B. If Cardi B was country as fuck. She would literally.
You're gonna say that.
She was gonna.
How did I know you're gonna say that?
But that's how she's. Because Cardi B, don't get it twisted. Like, is she a little hood? Is she a little gangster? Yeah, but Cardi B is very smart, and she'll, and she at least attempts to learn. Now, does she get it right all the time? No, because I still didn't like her conversation between her and Samira, but maybe that'll be a learning lesson for her in the future. But she at least, you can tell she's like tapped in. So yeah, that's what she
that conversation with her and Lester about the white people.
Oh yeah,
the white people.
Yeah,
being what did she say? I don't want to use the exact phrase, but there was a wording she used prior to that of white people being originally they were albinos is how it was put.
Oh no.
And
not Yakubians.
She was calling them little ends, and I said that is wild in this world. But I do love how even both Maurice and Chef, they're like, when you give Sadie something, she gonna run with it.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing about Sadie is she exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Sadie, yeah. But she was very open, and I like that because I think she even said at one point she was like, telling Lester like, now if you gonna come and tell me about these Yakubians, you might just get a little something. I said you better let that man know. You better let him know.
I just got flashbanged. I'm sorry. Jesus Christ. Oh, it's gonna do it again. Please. Oh, it's not coming back on. Jesus Christ. Okay.
Something she's fooling with dark-sided stuff.
Dark-sided stuff. Jesus.
BT, please.
BT, get out. He been quiet this whole time, just listening. Of course, he noticed when I get flashbanged. The light. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yes. But yeah, just and the fact that for the three of them, they're bootleggers. Like outside of their trade of fighting Ku Kluxes, they're bootleggers.
Mm-hmm.
And that ain't typical. That's not a typical job for women in this time period.
Mm-hmm.
That's
so dope. They were gangsters, fuck. All three of them.
No, they really were. They really were.
Man, listen.
And the fact that they all had people beside them who didn't give a shit about that either. Like the people, their community around them were okay with it. Their community stood beside them. Their community even liked it because they were helping their community and their community was helping them.
Even though they were kind of like an outcast because they thought they were witches at one point. Like the community, she was like, it was like, oh, they think we witches, but I mean, we supply the liquor. So
and then Sadie was saying, listen, I'll go and bring up one of the helpers now. Talking to your man. I said, period. One thing about Sadie, she about that action.
Listen.
Oh, I love that.
I love it. I do love that they made the character that's supposed to be the most, but when you look at like light, okay, so we're gonna talk about colorism for 2 seconds. Normally, light-skinned women are deemed as more feminine, more gentle, more light. I love the fact that Djèlí decided to make the most ratchet, rowdy. Honestly, she was, to me, in my opinion, and even though Chef probably presented as mass presenting, it would technically be a 1920s stud, but in my opinion, Sadie was the more masculine out of the three of them. And
I was just gonna say, and I feel like Chef was the more gentle. Like,
Chef.
If you look at their dynamic and the way that they interacted with the people around them, including that were, and especially Emma, like even though you have all of these people who, like the researchers as well, like Chef was very gentle, like extremely gentle. And I think that that's important. Like you said that earlier, like very, very much foundational, very much
the grounded.
Like, yes.
Very grounded, very, Chef is the one you turn to when you need like a solid opinion. Sadie's the one you turn to when you need somebody's ass whooped.
Listen, if you want to look at you butt.
Right. Oh boy.
Exactly.
What's up, G-Dubs? And
another thing that that I want to talk about, especially in the romantic relationships as well.
Yes.
Of of Maurice. I adore the way that Djèlí Clark writes their relationship.
I wanted
between
more.
her and but here's what I love about it. They make the role that a man would generally have in a relationship and gave it to Maurice.
Yep.
Because if you look at the way that Maurice is always says things like, "Oh, I never make a promise, but I try like to give him that." Like when you look at when they enter the juke joint and all of that, I call him Saint Lucia because I can never remember his name. But and I don't know why I can't remember that man's name in my life.
And she says it a lot in the book.
Looking at him, she does, and that's why I'm like, I don't know why I can't.
Not Lester, the Michael George.
Thank you, Michael.
Yeah.
When Michael is steadily looking at her and for her the entirety of the time that they're at the juice joint, like he's the one looking at her. And yeah, she takes an eye peek over there, but it's literally not until she's prompted by her friend to go over there. Like it's like one of her, like if the shoe was on the other foot, excuse my French, but she's the nigga that went over there because her homeboy said go see my girl. Like that's that I recognize that pretty like quickly. And I was like, that is interesting. But like but even in that, like her femininity is never taken away from her. Nope. Because and I'm like, how do we not have this?
Boom.
And like Michael is not
Boom. I can't with
Please.
you. Get out of here.
But like even then, even with her like standoffishness that she seems to have, or like her little bit of uncertainty, because she clearly says that George Michael and her Michael George or whatever have this man named child.
Michael B. Jordan.
They have they have had he has hinted anyway that he wants to have a deeper conversation about the two of them. And he's not off put by it, by her like lack of going into the conversation yet. Like he is like, okay, that's fine. Whenever you're ready for this conversation, I'm willing to, wait for you to have this conversation. Yeah.
Oh, I picture him. I picture him as that dude from Queen Sugar, the brother. That's what I picture him as in my mind, because he's dark skinned in the book. But I forget the dude's name. Kofi.
Hey, isn't that
Kofi something? I think his name is Kofi.
Am I think of
who are you thinking about?
No, I'm thinking of the man I saw earlier today in the street. Pooh, what was that man's name?
Kofi Siriboe. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. His fine ass.
I'm thinking of
Not you just activated my bird chip. They made him the beautiful damsel in distress and did. I like that.
And you know what? Yes. There you go. Yeah. They really did. And it worked. I mean, it worked really well.
Oh, Black Adam. Oh, I know who you talk about. Black Adam.
Damn it.
Damn,
he was on the panel.
Oh, the dude
earlier today.
The dude who plays
Aldous Hodge.
Oh, Aldous. Oh, my private parts just jumped.
He was in one of the. This is a huge side note here, but this is relevant.
I'm sorry.
Aldous Hodge was in the first panel that we watched today for Virtuous Con Day 2. And he and Philip, not Pussy Time, like it's crazy work.
Listen,
they were talking about how they have started a production company called P3. And they have been and are continuing to work with other creators, particularly creators of color, with writing, set designing movies and stuff like that. They are even working on the Children of Blood and Bone movie that's going to come out.
Oh,
And if you don't know what that is, Leash, have you read that book?
I have it. I never read it. I have the physical copy too.
I have not read that either. I have the book as well, and I really have been wanting to read it. Even before the movie was announced.
I just know it's going to be a journey.
Even more now than that.
I know it's going to be a journey.
There's like 3 books, I think.
That book like that. Long. The first book is long, and they long. They like tomes. So I'm just like,
fine. That's fine. We have read N.K. Jemisin. We can read that.
You know what? You right. I have read N.K. Jemisin, man.
Shit.
And those are tomes. It's the journey.
But anyway, the P3 company, they're going to be doing the Children of Blood and Bone movie.
Hell yeah.
And they have talked about how the recent administration and all of that has made things more difficult. I'm gonna stream the panel and other panels again in the Discord at a later time, because obviously a lot of people missed those things. And I feel like there's a lot of stuff that we're talking about in the panels that I feel like need to be seen by the community, and especially you. There's a lot of stuff
that I missed.
I was heard, and I was like, damn, I really need these figures.
Dare I say, just like a quick, like, what is, it's not, it doesn't involve like the book or anything, but dare I say that after this administration's done, I think we're gonna have like another Black art renaissance. I feel it coming. Listen,
that was talked about a lot in the panel.
Oh, well, look at that. Look at that. I feel like after this administration is done and we get all this nonsense out, I feel like not even just Black, I feel like a lot of POC art in general is going to be, there's going to be a renaissance. It is going to be beautiful, and I can't wait because I'm going to be in it.
Yeah, I was going to say, Corbatti, it's definitely started.
It started, yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy. See, it's like a hive mind. We're like cordyceps.
Please. Please. Okay, so we talked about. I'm trying to see where I am in my notes. These physical fucking pages.
Put it on the table, Jay.
Chapter 3.
Jay, can you pick up my wig off the floor? It keeps distracting me.
That dog, it's a dog, Gina.
That ain't no puppy, Gina. That ain't no puppy. It keeps distracting me. I keep looking over thinking it's a little something. Thank you.
Please. Okay, I do want to talk to the community a little bit about, and this is gonna be a little weird. Probably not, but you know, whatever. Butcher Clyde. When y'all were reading Butcher Clyde, what was the first thing that y'all thought about?
Butcher Clyde, the first like the initial reaction. Hold on, we got a raid.
So like, hold
on.
Raiders.
Hi, Caillou. Thank you for the raid. Welcome in. If you're new coming in with Caillou, my name is Leash. I variety stream here on Twitch. A lot of people know me for drinking tequila and acting a fool, which is the truth. But if they say I run a cult, that is a lie. The cult is a lie. We're currently just talking about, we're doing book club. We read a book called Ring Shout by Djèlí Clark. And we're just discussing the book and getting our thoughts out. And if you like that type of stuff, you can stick around. I know it's late, so if you have to raid and run, that is perfectly fine. I hope your stream went well. Welcome in. You left your community in good hands. Some people's hands in here are sticky, not mine.
Please.
Definitely not a cult. Doesn't have its own month and holidays. Oh yeah, Leisha-wary. That happens in July, and we push July over. Size inclusive robes are in the back. They're in the front. Okay, the skinny people robes are in the back.
Immediately.
Right. All the skinny people to the back. BT, you got to get to the back now since you're skinny.
Please.
Oh boy. So Mo, your question was
So yeah, so when as you were reading the book, I didn't make it clear my question, so that's my fault. As you were reading the book, what was your like initial like thought of Butcher Clyde, and then by the end of it, what was your thought of Butcher Clyde, or how was your view, or what did you think of, or what did you see in your brain? Like, did that change, or did it stay the same?
You want to know what's so crazy is that I didn't necessarily like Butcher Clyde as a villain. I felt like he was kind of one-dimensional. I think that was probably my only critique of this story, is that the villain didn't really do it for me. I think, if anything, the reason why I like the book is because of the main characters and the actual creatures they were fighting. I honestly wanted to know more about like the actual little critters that did, like the demons. Those were more exciting to me than Butcher Clyde. And honestly, the Night Doctors were a little bit more creepy and exciting to me. Butcher Clyde didn't, like, my opinion on him didn't change from when I first met him. You know, he wasn't necessarily super charismatic. He wasn't necessarily like super, like, he didn't really grab me. A good example, but this is going on, a good example of a villain that I liked was when we read the Ballad of, was it the Ballad of Perilous Games? Was that the yeah. The dude who was killing people, killing the things just to kill them, and then you saw his progress or whatever. I forget his name. So that's the type of villains I like. They have to have some sort of like, they don't have to have a redemption arc, but I like to see a little growth in the villain too. Like, I don't, but I understand like, one, this story was very short. So there's only so much that P. Djèlí Clark could do in the story. The book is like 160 pages. So that's why I said I wanted more, because I did want to see more. Just imagine if we got a chapter of a chapter from the point of view of the Butcher. That would have been fire.
So you said something just now that between you and Corbetti, you said something just now that I think is the point. You said that he was a one-dimensional character, right? And Corbatti said that the character from Perilous Graves was a real person.
Okay.
Those two things are important, because when we're looking at like these real people that we have to go, I won't even say go toe to toe with, but these people that that we have to basically deal with on a regular basis every day. These are real people. Like, these are real people with real lives that, even though they look at us as if we're villainous, or they look at us and they have opinions about us, these are also real people who go home every night, kiss their children, or even if they don't, their pets, or hell, whatever, play video games like we do, cook, eat, whatever, just like we do. But the Butcher does not do that. Like,
right.
The whole point and the whole thing is literally the manifesto that he gives at the end, where he's talking about our pain and our suffering and our hatred. Like, that is the whole point.
Right.
And as I was reading this, there was two visuals that I had of the Butcher, which is very funny. One of them I was trying to find for the sake of this conversation. It's an artist on Instagram that does animations. And I, for the life of me, cannot find this person. If I find it later after this, I'll put it in the books and comics. But the second image that I got at the end with all the mouse was like something straight out of Final Fantasy 14.
Ooh.
The Endwalker campaign, kind of towards the end, with all the mouths
Let me see
or
it.
is it Endwalker? I was trying to look for the picture, but I just keep getting anima, and it's not anima.
Oh,
The ones that have the mouths everywhere. Leash, you know what I'm talking about. You just did Endwalker.
a Malboro? Is it a Malboro? It's green.
I think so. It looks like it almost looks like no, hold
It's
on.
not a Malboro then. Look at us being nerds. BT's about to call us a nerd right now, which is crazy. Wait, he can't because he played the game. Not me. Are you with the mouths? The only thing I could think of is a Malboro.
Is that what it's called?
No.
I feel like that's not what it is.
The Malboro
No,
has a
hold on.
lot of eyes. I type in Malboro and I'm getting cigarettes. Let me not, because I don't want cigarette ads.
It's the thing that's in the beginning of the DLC trailer that is, if you, because this is like borderline spoilers, if you are not this far in the DLC,
Yeah, if you haven't
over your
played
damn ears.
Final Fantasy 14 up to a certain point, close your ears and your holes.
Yes, Trin, you know what I'm talking about. The thing.
What is it called?
In Venice Spotty. Oh, in the Discord. Hold on.
Is it in the?
Yes.
Is it in the Final Fantasy Discord?
No, hold on. I'm gonna send it to you. Hold on.
Oh, y'all got y'all. I forget the secret Discord and the secrets.
It's for the big N word. It's for the big N word, please.
Oh! I'm a little N word. Oh, it's crazy.
I'm sending it to you personally. Okay. I don't want to spoil anybody.
That's crazy. I'm a little N word. Wow. My heart, my body, my soul. Oh no. It's like a bigger version of this with mouths. Not the Malboro, no. I was thinking that's the only thing.
No. It's the Swarbuch for
a squirt.
I can't pronounce this.
A squirter.
No, it's. Damn it, Leash. Just look in your personal DMs on Discord.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, a Svarbanu. Svarbanu.
Yeah.
That's what you. Oh, I can see it. I can see this.
If you look at it on the side, so on the Endwalker trailer,
I'm gonna show the chat.
When you first, spoilers if you haven't seen, if you're not to the Endwalker DLC,
yeah, spoilers.
You're not gonna know what this is. But if you can see to the left, there's a mouth there and there, but there's yeah, the main boss from the dungeon. And even in the Endwalker trailer, there's a moment where the Warrior of Light is eaten up, eaten the fuck up by this thing, and he's like slashes through it. Terrifying as fuck. Because I remember when I saw this for the first time, I was like, "Bestie, what are we doing?" But yes, it's horrifying.
And
but
then
that is essentially what I thought of.
All these little entities flying around it too, like little squids. I feel like those look like the things that infect the clan.
Like this is literally what I thought of and like what I was envisioning when I was like reading the book.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that's crazy.
That's kind of cool. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Indeed. Okay. You took a lot of notes.
I have 9 pages. Oh, and shout out to my therapist. Because when I told my therapist, and go to therapy, y'all, if y'all can afford it.
Amen.
Because when I told my therapist is a really big book person like I am.
Mm-hmm.
And so the way that we start therapy is because she can kind of gauge how I've been based off of the amount of books that I have read, or what I can tell her about a book. Because we usually start off our session with, you know, what have you read, or you're like, what's on your radar, or whatever, and we'll kind of go from there. So yeah, shout out to her, because she was like, oh, well, y'all reading that? And yeah, and I was like, yeah. And so we were talking about the book, and she kind of helped me come up with some of this stuff. So shout out to her. Period. And then the other thing, that was the other thing.
Oh,
Grief.
wait. K Majesty
Go ahead.
brought out something really cool. Wasn't there a monster with many mouths in the game Leash played? Don't Look Outside. There was.
There was.
Yep. Honestly, that game would be perfect to visualize what those creatures would probably look like, because you know that was body horror supreme in that game. Thank you, K Majesty.
Truly, I could not watch that playthrough because at one point in time there was the one specific monster that made me be like, oh shit, I can't watch it.
The one with the teeth.
And I can't remember. Yes,
the one with the teeth, because that made me kind of itch.
That was it. I was like, oh.
The one with the teeth, and there was another one. It was either a bug. It was another one where I was just like,
yeah, that was the one that I had to put that on in the background while I was doing some other shit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This is thank you, Trent. Yeah.
What Trent do?
Trent sent me a very good. Here, I'll
send it. Yeah, since I'm not even. Wow, even Trends with the big ends.
Trent sent this to me personally.
That's crazy.
I just sent it to you again. But this is the actual monster that I thought about.
Oh, this is gonna give me a nightmare. Oh no, look at this shit, y'all. You know what this reminds me of? Pennywise. No, because remember the times where he'll like
I almost just spit out my drink.
You know the times where like he'll attack and then he'll like step back and then you'll see his eyes in the blackness.
Oh, stop it.
You watch my reaction, so you remember.
Yes, I mean I know what you're talking about, but goddamn it, Lee.
Oh my god, that's exactly what this shit looks like. Ooh, let me change this. I can't. This is gonna give me a nightmare. Thank you, Trent, for
I just immediately thought about the
adding to my
commercials. It's all inside.
Oh my god. Wait,
not go to day 9.
Go to day 9.
Oh, bestie.
Yep.
Day 9.
Don't look at it, Mo. Don't look at it. You're not gonna like it.
Oh, it's too late. I've already clicked it.
You're not gonna like it.
Damn it.
Yep.
Day 9.
BT, why are you like this?
Oh, you know what? Let me go ahead and take my little antihistamine child.
Yeah. Sorry, y'all. If I had to see it, y'all had to see it too. So
that's crazy work.
Yeah. We're gonna all suffer together. This is,
crazy. The real horror. Anyway, horror. Imagine the dental bills. BT, get the fuck out of here.
BT get on my nerves. I can't. Don't pay him no attention.
Anyway, we're gonna move on to grief and how that basically has shaped our experience. Because I saw, ironically, I saw Instagram post, because y'all know I don't have TikTok. But I saw an Instagram post today talking about how grief is like glitter.
Oh.
I'm sure y'all have seen this or heard about this.
Yeah.
How when you're covered in glitter, every so often, or not every so often, when you're first covered in glitter, you hate it. And you try to wash it all off of you, and it's hard to get off. And you do your best, and for the most part, you get it off of you. But every so often, you'll see a little speck of glitter, and you'll continue to try to scrub it off, but you see it, you may get angry, you may get upset, you might cry about it. I don't know. But sometime down the road, when years have passed, or months, depending on your grieving process, when you see that speck of glitter and somebody mentions it to you, you'll just, look at it and you'll just say, oh, okay. And, you know, that's pretty much like the grief for you.
Mm-hmm.
And this story does a great job, I think, of talking about grief in stages, because
Yeah.
Maurice is absolutely not over not done grieving.
Oh, definitely
By any
not.
semblance, not. Because when you I think the whole reason why you have her other self that she's always seeing, and how pissed off and angry and frustrated she is, and like you even have that line where she's talking about how her other self betrays her when Basset is looking into her grief and her pain.
Mm-hmm.
And she's talking about the barn. Like, she feels very betrayed in that moment, because she's not ready to talk about that. Like, she's not ready to be faced with that. But her other self is like, Bestie, we gotta get out of this.
Somebody
we've
somebody mentioned in the chat that even to the point of her picturing herself when it happened as a child instead of as an adult, which she was when it happened. And it's easier to forgive yourself, or to I don't know, but it's easier to just face things when you feel like you were younger. So I think that was kind of cool. Well, not cool, but like insightful, that she pictured herself as a younger person instead of like, she was like 18 when it happened. So yeah. But I mean, I wouldn't get over if somebody hung my family. Hell no. I'd hold on to that hate forever. I'm not healed, and I don't think I'd ever be that healed. But that's just me though. I'm a Cancer. Let me blame it on astrology.
I don't know how I would feel. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how I would feel prior to having seen my brother or my sibling again.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely after that moment, I would probably feel healed.
A little bit.
Because if my sibling came down from the heavens or wherever the in-between is and told me, told me like, hey, there's literally nothing that you could have done to change the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, literally hearing that, like, I'm telling you, I was muted when we were listening to this in the Discord, but I just know Moo and Zim, and I don't know if Moo was here at the time during that bit. I can't remember, but I was just in there folding clothes, just fucking crying, because I was like, Bestie, there's nothing you could have done, sister. Yeah, but sometimes like, you need to hear that. Like, there's literally nothing that you yourself could have done to prevent the pain that you experience, even if you think it's your fault. Like, there's nothing that you could have done to change it.
Because she would have died too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And their sacrifice would have been, I don't want to say would have been for nothing, but I mean, technically, like, they hid you. Like, it's almost like they knew what they were doing, and at the end of the day, like, they fought to make sure that you were okay. Now,
the fact that she didn't come out for 2 days.
Right. That, oh God. Stuff like that. I don't know. Like, because that was probably somebody's reality in the South, which is crazy to think about. Because the story pulls from experiences that our people been through. And we often talk about the horrors of Jim Crow South and slavery. But whenever I read things like this, it's almost even more like impactful and scary and, emotional for me, because at one point that was at one point that was somebody's reality. Somebody hiding in a crawl space for 2 days and coming out and seeing their whole family killed and hung. I always remember watching Rosewood, which I don't recommend you watch if you just if you have if you want to hate white people for a solid week or more, then watch Rosewood. If you don't watch it. But I always remember it was a scene in Rosewood where the dude was like, well, they asked him like, how did you survive? And he basically had to hide under dead bodies in order to survive. And so when I love what Black horror does, because it brings, I don't know, it brings to life things that we could never fathom, you know? And it's just, at the end of the day, like, I don't know, man, like, it's just really, sometimes it's just hard to really think about, like, damn. Because I don't think I would be able to, what's up, Makuta? I don't think I'd be able to, I think if I had to go through that, I would probably, a week is generous. I'd probably jump off of a bridge or something. Like, I don't think I would be mentally able to go through the horrors of what people in the past have went through.
Well, you know, it's funny that you say that, because the other book that I read this month, ironically, was Kindred, but I read the
I love Kindred
I read the graphic novel version because I knew that if I read the actual novel version, I was not going to get to the book club book. So I read the graphic novel version, and ironically, it hit just as hard. And I do want to go back and do the Parable of the Sower and Parable of Talents in the graphic novel version as well, just to kind of see.
It's really good.
I feel about it. Yeah.
Graphic novel's good.
But very, very much same. Like, I don't know that I could have been in the place of that main character where I just randomly get sent back in time to
face your grief again.
Period. Yeah.
Face your one of your darkest moments too. It wasn't like it was a random dark moment. No, it was literally the dark moment that defined her whole entire life. Like, oh God.
Yeah.
Crazy work.
And like with her ancestors, like that's.
Oh, can I read an excerpt from? I made sure to highlight one of whenever she called out her sword. I made sure to highlight one of the things that happens when the visions. Here it goes. It says here, no. The sword comes at my call with the visions. A woman in Saint Domingue shouting a war song at a shaken French troops as she set herself on fire. A man in Cuba applying a balm to another's cut open back, singing to soothe his lover's cries. A mother fleeing through thick Mississippi pines to a contraband camp, humming quiet to her babies. The girl in the dark there too. I shrug off her fear before it could sink in teeth. That's the stuff that she witnesses whenever she calls out that sword. Just imagine. Crazy. I just love that part. Like, it was just so powerful to me.
Yeah, this book makes me because they talked about it in the panel a lot. Oh, and quick, speaking of the panel, a fun fact about this book, specifically the cover.
Oh yeah, we
haven't quite talked about this. Djèlí Clark originally, for the cover of this book, wanted the cover to be a portrait of
the three
Maurice.
Girls.
Yeah, of Maurice and Sadie and Chef. And he said, like, when he went back to the the agents and powers that be, they came back and were like, hey, actually, like, here's the cover that we're thinking. And he said, you know what?
You're right.
You know what? Yeah, I think y'all got it.
Because he was mad at first. He was like, he was mad at first, but then he saw the actual cover. He said, oh, okay. You got it.
Yeah.
We'll go with this.
Yeah.
That was a good call.
So I think so as well. Because if you, I don't know if you actually took the time to look at the other covers of his other books, but literally every cover of all of
it's
his
a portrait
are the portraits of the main character or the main characters of the books.
Yeah.
Which I think is important when you are trying to pick up an author you don't know and you want to know what the book is about or who's featured in the book. And you see somebody Black, then yeah, I mean, I think that's a great call.
Yeah.
This book made you also want to reread The Deep by Rivers Solomon. I want to read some of Rivers Solomon's stuff too. They're on my list as well.
Listen, we'll probably get into it. I'm a see. I gotta find some more. But I think I know what the second book we're gonna do. But
we already got it. Medusa.
Oh yeah, Medusa. But they mentioned that other book, and now I'm just like, ooh. Remember the one where they were talking about the queen of speculative fiction? Oh shit! I made sure to bookmark it on my Amazon. Hold on. It's you want to know what's so crazy is that it's technically a love story. But we could read that after Medusa.
I mean, if you want to switch it up, be my guest.
No, it's fine because I think. Mama Day by Gloria Naylor.
Oh shit! Hold on, I listen.
Yeah, because that's what the author who wrote the other. I can't remember the other lady's name.
Oh, Gloria. Oh, Eden.
Something.
Is it Eden or Penelope?
I don't remember. I don't. What's up, Oliveras? I'm sure we could find some great books about Loving versus Virginia. Excuse me, I gotta get somebody up out of here real quick. 10 minutes. How dare you? We're having such a wonderful, productive conversation, and you bring something in here that I hate.
Please.
It's crazy. Oh boy.
You talk about the author of Song and Blood and Stone?
No, in the panel.
Oh, Penelope.
No, the panel.
Yeah, she was in there. She was in there between.
Not the younger one.
Was she the one that was writing the children's books?
No, not the younger one. The older lady.
Yeah, Eden.
Was her name Eden? I don't remember.
Yeah, Eden. Shit, Leash.
It was Tananarive, P. Djèlí,
P. Djèlí, L. Penelope, and then Eden.
She was the Gullah Geechee lady. She was from South Carolina.
Yeah. Eden. I know. I can't remember her last name.
Eden something. But they were talking about Mama Day, and everybody was like, "Oh, Mama Day. We love Mama Day." So I was like, "Oh, we put that on my list." Because I love speculative fiction. I love speculative fiction because it's just like the world is already horrible. Let's add some magic. Let's add some stuff that just don't make sense. Let's add some whimsy and let's be abysmal. Let's be absurd.
At least, hold on. Now I gotta look.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna be thinking about that for the rest of the
Eden
night.
Royce.
Is that it?
I think so. Eden Royce.
Yes. IQBT.
Not you so quick with your trigger finger, because Trent knew better. We're not talking about Loving versus Virginia. He knew better, and he didn't do better.
Oh, when you know better,
you do better. He did not. Oh, what's next on the agenda, Mo? Can we get into the socialism?
Absolutely, go ahead. That was next.
Yay! Because I can't wait to get this part. Plus, I only have 20 more minutes because I gotta go to bed at 12 on the dot. Because I have to work. I could call out. Oh my God! All of the raids.
Right.
Welcome in, Raiders! And an ad's going on as soon as I hate when that happens. Welcome in. If you're new coming in with nerd stuff, I hope they can hear me. Hold on. Well, if you're new coming in with nerd, my name is Leash. I variety stream here on Twitch. A lot of people know me for drinking tequila and acting a fool, which is the truth. But if they say that I run a cult, the cult is a lie. I do not run a cult. Thank you so much for sharing your community with me. I hope your stream went well. Right now we're talking, we're doing a book club. We read a book called Ring Shout by P. Djèlí Clark. So if you like that type of stuff, you can stick around. We're nearing the end of the book club. But yeah, and if you have to go, it's perfectly fine. I know it's late. So if you have to raid and run, that's perfectly fine. Welcome in, y'all. Make yourselves comfortable. It may be a cult, but it's literate in here. It is. barely. Y'all know I
not barely.
I'm dyslexic. So I be
now and can't be and have read a 188 page book.
I got the dyslexic font on, that's why.
And still reading.
Well, true enough, but it's hard. It's reading a book on hard mode. Welcome in. Thank you so much. Welcome. Lord have mercy. Okay. So we're gonna get into the part where dyslexic ain't mean illiterate, right? That's true. That we're gonna get into the part where they were talking about the socialism and the conversation between Emma and what's her name? Chef.
Yeah.
Did I get to the? Okay, so basically they were having like a whole discussion because, as you know, it's okay, Leash, I may be a strong soldier at language. I can't do math. I can't do math either. Shit. That's why I got BT, my human calculator. So basically, if you don't know, in the book, Chef fought in World War I, right? And she had to disguise herself as not waves high with the chains.
As a man.
She had to disguise herself as a man in order to fight in World War I, right? So she has a lot of opinions about, you know, the world because she's well traveled. Not make them tighter. Whereas Emma is from Germany. She's a Jewish lady from Germany. Now, mind you, this is not World War II. This is World War I.
Right. And I thought they made that distinction very, very clear.
Yeah, we have to make that distinction clear. But even still, I think this was around the time where there was a lot of talk about communism, socialism, or whatever. And so Chef and Emma are having a discussion. This is the part that I highlighted. So Emma, she picks up a New York tabloid. Emma has them delivered to the store with pictures recalling the 1920 Wall Street bombing and hands me a small pamphlet. I'm thinking she's talking about Sadie. Yeah, Sadie hands Maurice the tablet. It has a drawing of 3 men, colored, white, maybe Chinese, swinging hammer at a chain globe. Workers of the world unite. It reads, one of Emma's for sure. Chef don't care much for it. What she calls Bolshevik, is that right? Bolshevik rantings. Mm-hmm. And this is the part I highlighted. And I don't want to see no color folk as shock troops in your revolution. She's insisting, this ain't Moscow. 9, Emma responds, but there exists all the inequities of the Tsar's Russia. Sharecroppers like serfs, the debasement of workers, race prejudice, all which socialism would eradicate. Chef goes, socialism gonna solve white folks? Emma goes, once the poor white worker sees his commonality with the colored, Chef laughs. Your poor white workers be the first ones at lynchings. Up in Chicago, they chase color folk from their unions. She leans in. When I was small, white folks rioted because Jack Johnson outboxed a white man on the 4th of July. They hunted Negroes from New York to Omaha, slit a colored man's throat on a streetcar. just for saying who won that fight. You think Marx can fix that? Emma frowns. She's 10 years older than me, though hard to tell with her small features behind those round spectacles. Emma goes, we must strive to show them they too are exploited, and not by those they are taught to hate, from which they earn nothing. Oh, I see. I disagree. Oh no, Chef says, oh, see, I disagree, Chef retorts. White folks earn something from that hate. Might not be wages, but knowing we on the bottom and they set above us, just as good, maybe better. Mm-hmm. And then that's when, So this is often a common discourse. It's not a race issue, it's a class issue. Right. And only white people get the privilege to say that. Because at the end of the day, it's always a race issue. Do we know it's a class issue? Of course. But there's a lot to unpack and get rid of. A lot of people have to get rid of their racial biases in order for it to be a for real common class issue. As long as there's someone on the bottom, the issue is always going to persist. And unfortunately, being black in any part of the world, it's not just America. Being anti-blackness is in every community across the fucking globe. As long as that's an issue, there will be no unification. There will be no common goal, because somebody will always feel like they're better than somebody else. So, but the fact that they're having these conversations in the book, and you know, it is almost like bless Emma's heart. When I read it, I said, bless her heart. Bless her heart, because she tried, and I give her that. Like, she's trying to find common ground. She's trying to see, you know, just what it is. But I'm thinking, like, I want to know how long she's been in the States. You know, for her to still, I'm not going to say not get it, but mind you, she's in the South. So I want to know how long she's been in the States for her to just keep hope alive. You know,
you bring up a very good point though, because you're in the States,
right?
This issue in the States versus overseas in Europe is very different. Even if we still, because even to me, I still personally think sometimes that it is overseas a race issue, but we're gonna just chalk it up as a class issue, or even a religious issue overseas. There is still the issue. There's still an issue, and it's just looked at differently. Well, we can't really say that Apples, like, even though she's German, like, you can tell she was trying.
She was trying,
like,
yeah,
she was definitely trying.
Yeah.
So yeah, overseas in Europe, it's I like that perspective, because, you know, it's very much so like earlier in the book where Chef was talking about how when she went overseas and she was in France and she was eating all that fancy food that the French people were cooking, and she had no issues for the most part.
Right.
She had no issues. Versus if she come back home, they're not going to serve her in a restaurant. Like, that's just what the hell that is.
Right.
And so, you know, I mean, but if we also look at it, if we want to say it's a quote unquote race issue, look at who is in the lower class, who are in lower income areas.
Right.
And you know what I mean?
Well, you know,
black people.
You know, the folks over in Europe, they like to play pretend too. It's like, yeah, did they get rid of segregation before we did? Yeah. Did they get rid of slavery before we did? Yeah. But we could never forget where slavery, enslaving people started. Over in goddamn Europe. Like, did they be like, oh, we're not gonna do this no more? Cool. But they did profit, because at the end of the day, at one point, a lot of their cotton, not even a lot, probably most of their cotton came from what? From the hands of enslaved people picking that shit. At one point, they said America basically supplied the whole entire world with cotton just based off of slave labor. So it's like, even though it's like, oh, we don't have enslaved people, We don't have enslaved people. We're not segregated, but you did not boycott America with that goddamn cotton, with sugar cane, with indigo, with tobacco. So you still had your hand in it. So Corbatti said, as I've been cataloging union history, IWW is fascinating because it does actually talk about race issues, but fails to address how deep set whiteness and hating immigrants are at the crux of racism, how the class struggle is being chosen to be not addressed, especially anti-indigenous and anti-black sentiments. The IWW still relies on land ownership and on the idea that people will choose to come together with people as they see each other. And we all know that rarely happens. It's only a class issue for those whose advancement isn't hindered by their race. Right. And how dare you ask Black people to overlook racism in the name of an economy built and sustained by racism? Exactly that. We take accounts of Black people were treated during World War I and World War II in Europe versus America. They mentioned in the book, but this is shortly after Leo Frank was lynched in Marietta. So she tries to use that to relate to them. Oh, got you. The IWW were very anti-war, which is meaningful and also explains her reaction to Chef. True enough, but it's like you can, I don't know. Like, I like the fact that Emma is trying to come from a good place and she's making conversations in good faith, right? But it's just like, oh, baby, you're so naive. Oh man, she's so naive to think like. That's why I'm like, there's no way she's been in the States long enough, because you could she's in Macon, Georgia in 1920.
Yeah.
You see them frothing at the mouths, ready to just lynch anybody who looks at them the wrong way. Literally. So it's just like, oh, baby girl. It's very hold hands, kumbaya. Right. Mm-hmm. The French outsourced their chattel slavery to the Caribbean. And never forget that. Oh, stinking ass French who don't use nope. Let me be nice. No, they don't use deodorant. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, the fuck?
They're colonizers. I could say it. The fuck? They stink. Yeah. They put perfume over funk. They don't wash their ass. Shit.
I don't give a fuck how good their food is. The hell?
Right. And it barely good.
And we can make we croissants at the house.
Right. Never spare the French. I almost had that. I had to think about it for, wait a minute. Fuck the French. Their food isn't really that great. Ain't really. Oh, they use native deodorant, fried onions, onion soup. That's what they smell. Country onion soup. Anyway.
Back from that tangent.
I'm sorry. I had to get it out because I almost spared them. Eagle screech.
Please.
America.
My goodness.
Oh, man.
So we talked about that. We've talked about community already, so I won't reiterate that.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of talked about the night doctors a little bit. I agree with you, is what you said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
The night doctors, I low key need more.
I feel like they're aliens. I feel like they're not an entity. No, on some real shit. I feel like they're not like a haint or anything from this world. I feel like they're aliens. Because that's what they like. In a world of haints and swords and magic, what makes you think that there's not aliens? Come on. And it'd be so cool. And the tree is like their spaceship. Yeah.
So what I understood of the night doctors is that They are an amalgamation um of not only the fears, specifically in our story, the fears of Maurice, but the fears of anyone who kind of enters that realm space. So Black people, because I feel like Black people would be really the only people who would kind of be able to enter that space. But also, like, I don't know why, but I was very much getting like the horrors of like racism as a whole, and just like institutionalized racism and violence, because there's that part where, and what makes me think
thank you for the follow
is Beset is literally what happens in my mind. This is just me. This is me. Scholars who, I look at Beset as a scholar who goes into looking at like trauma, like a Black person, a Black scholar who's looking into trauma and looking into the past and looking into like things like that. Oh, hold on.
Wait, we got a short story?
My doctors and stuff. Right. I literally thought the same thing.
We got a short story? Okay. Adding it to the list. Adding it to the list.
Okay. Right. Thank you, BT, for your service.
Oh, BT coming in, see?
Reparations, period. Okay. The thing that and this is me not reading the short story, so obviously whatever comes up in the short story, this is just me shooting the shit.
Right.
I look at Beset as a scholar who is looking at all of these things.
With a link.
With a link. To know about.
BT, can you
Nightmare Magazine?
BT, can you put the link in the Discord for us in the comics and books section? BT,
is it?
Hold on.
Yeah,
I'll put it in the YouTube chat for y'all. Oh, hold on.
Oh.
Here y'all go.
But Dr. Beset to me is a person who goes and looks at racism or prejudice or anything like that from an institutional level and gets sucked in. And I feel like that's why and where he talks about how he has to give up his body, his mind, his heart. That's why he doesn't have his heart and why he doesn't have his eyes. And he had to give so much of himself too, because like I feel like that's a nod to Black people who are in these educational realms where we're not just teaching as like people who are teaching from the past, we're people who are teaching from experience. So we are literally giving our minds, our bodies, and our souls to these things that we're teaching, because it does take a lot of mental space, a lot of physical space, a lot of emotional space to be able to teach these things. And I feel like that's what I got from this. In that, I think that's why the Night Doctors represent to me the institutionalized horrors of racism and violence.
I think the fact that Dr. BT I'm sorry, Dr. Beset, like I think I look at it as a because you just said something that kind of was like, oh, I didn't really think of I'm sorry, BT. I didn't really think about it like that. He's literally giving himself physically. He has no eyes. He has no heart. Who knows what's next? He probably don't have a certain amount of organs. And I look at it as kind of like an allegory of like giving so much of yourself, and like what Poog said on top of that, like the fear of even in death, you're not free for or watching your ambitions eat you alive type shit. You know, because it's like he's giving parts of his body, and for what? Knowledge? or you know, like I really need to read that short story because it's like, what is the reason? And it doesn't get into the reason, but I'm definitely sometime this week I'm reading that short story.
And I think like though at the end where Bissett is like angry, because like I don't think people recognize he's angry with her.
Yeah,
He's angry with Maurice at the end.
yeah,
Like when he kicks her out, like obviously he kind of cares about her safety a little bit because he knows enough to get her out of there.
yeah,
but he's angry
because they was gonna fuck her up.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
he's angry because Maurice refuses to be a victim in the same way he was willing to be that for them.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
so, like,
I like that.
It's one of those things where I like that Dr. Bissett is, and this is why I think that in the end he I think he was always gonna come or whatever, because you know he always talks about at the very end when they show up, she was like, what made you change your mind? And he says, you know, you were interesting to them. I think the real reason is she being there. I think she helped him. Like, I think her presence being there showed him like, hey, yeah, I have given all of this part of myself, but I'm not gonna leave here, or I'm not gonna be in this state for nothing. Like, I can still give these entities what they want, which is the source of hatred. I can chop these shits up. We can go back and, you know, do the real sciencey shit, and they can feed on that shit for as long as they fucking want to, and I can be okay,
right?
And I don't have to worry about the Hound or whatever the hell that centipede ass thing was.
That shit freaked me out. Ugh.
Yeah, that was
that shit freaked me out in the book. I don't like centipedes and millipedes and the little no. So I
see him as choosing a different. I agree, Crowbatty. I as well saw that as him choosing a different path as well.
And also they knew what they would gain. Like, they're getting the embodiment of hate. That big ass Cyclops, I knew they was gonna come. Cause look at all they grabbed her ass up real quick. She didn't even have a fight.
Because there were times when I was like looking back at the story and I was reading it a second time. There was times there was things that I didn't notice the first time. Where when he's talking to her other self, how gentle he is with the other self. When he's talking to her, he's very much like
very short. Like,
I didn't ask you, I'm telling you. Like, he was never like that with the other version of herself. He was very much like, okay, I recognize this for what it is. I'm not gonna scare it away. And I do think that is why that other version of herself was so ready and open.
Could that be because he was in her shoes and he empathizes with that?
I feel that's why. Like, I honestly feel that way.
Yeah.
So
he knows what she's going through. So, and he knows what it's like to be probed, because as you can see, and
listen, but he ain't got no eyes.
Right. No eyes, no heart, no nothing. Goddamn. He ain't got no booty hole. No, he ain't got no nipples. He ain't got no nipples.
Please.
But yeah, I think he knows what it's like to be probed. And so, and then you do, when dealing with, because they were literally dealing with her, the embodiment of her pain and fear. And you do have to be very gentle with that, because they still want her to be in one piece. Imagine if he would have went in there and just fucking shit up with her pain and fear. That would either closed her off more or driven her insane. So you do have to kind of be gentle with that part of her. So it's up. But I mean, he's a doctor. I think I don't know. Maybe he just naturally knew what to do. Did they ever explain what type of doctor he was?
If they did, I don't remember.
I don't remember either. Oh shit. Well, when we read the short story, then we'll probably know. So.
Maybe he was like a surgeon.
I think so. I think they did say it in the book, but I don't remember.
Perhaps.
No. I don't know. BT, you know? Don't all y'all doctors know each other?
Oh my goodness.
What?
Honestly, I think that was it though, because we already talked about the Klanswoman.
We did.
Mm-hmm.
This book was one for the road. I really like that we started off with this book. So it was
on, all the links.
Yeah. Thank you, BT. You're too kind. What's up, Malware? He had a medical bag at the end for the butcher body. He might have been a doctor, not a nerd scientist. I've been good
if you ever read it again, Leash, listen to the audiobook.
Y'all know I'm anti-audiobook, but I'll give it a try.
I don't know why.
I don't know why either that I'm anti-audio, because I'm not.
I say that because this one has singing in it.
I'm not an auditory learner, and it's hard for me to. I tune stuff out. Like if I need to learn something, I cannot watch a YouTube video. I have to read it or see it being done.
You wasn't interested when Djèlí said this had like color and sound and song in it when he said it in the panel yesterday.
I'll give it a try though. Maybe I'll do it because I already know the story, so maybe I'll do it for this. We'll see. I'm not gonna make no promises, but yeah, no.
I mean, listen, you don't pay me no mind, child. I'm not gonna put a bullet to your head.
Leash watches movies with the sound off. Shut up, BT.
God damn. Listen, we have 6 more days.
I know. Listen here.
Bud. Roger.
Oh, yeah, bucko. Listen here. Leisha's using a big N, or no, I'm using a little C. Not a big C. He ain't a big C. He a little C. If you know, you know. BT. Oh man, thank you so much, Mo, for doing this with me. I think next time I want a separate scene for book club that has like a picture of, not a picture of you, of your face, but like a little caricature, like a little drawing or something of you or whoever wants to come up and talk. I'm gonna look into like doing that because I don't know. I feel like it'd just be, and then like a picture of the book cover, and then if we need to bring up like a slideshow of like images and stuff, I want to make it like a whole thing instead of just me on the screen. So I'm gonna look into that.
I can send you my PNG tuber thing.
Yay, please do. I think that'd be really fun. So almost like when we did the D&D session.
The D&D thing.
Yeah, that's how I want it. If you want to know how to hook up that Discord call so when someone's avatar bounces when they talk, oh please send me the info for that, because hell yeah, I think that makes my life easy. To all the people on YouTube, thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. Mo, everybody give a round of applause for Mo the sheep.
Yeah,
he's wonderful.
Next time I'm going to try. Don't hold me to it, because obviously, I'm a night working man.
That's fine.
But I'm gonna try to host some reading sprints in the Discord. If you don't know what a reading sprint is, it is a period of time with which we do this back and forth of reading for an hour, breaking for 10 minutes, reading for an hour, breaking for 10 minutes.
Ooh.
To help people with who basically need parallel play with reading the book.
Ooh.
I've found that some people enjoyed it. I can't remember what book it was I think it was the book prior to this that
at night on some we gorgeous. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
on Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong. I had a goddamn stroke. God damn. Shit.
That's gorgeous, and I feel like that's all you needed.
Right. Oh shit.
But yeah, and I'm gonna try to be I'm gonna try to have next time. I'm gonna try to have more discussion questions in the story graph before the book club, so that y'all can start putting your input. And if you have questions as you're reading, feel free to put those things in the story graph book club as well. I'm gonna try for the next book when we narrow down that book. So if we decide to change the book for next month, or if we decide to keep the same, whatever. I'm gonna post a main thread for that book for the next book, and then you'll be able to post your own questions, or thoughts or whatever. Obviously, if they're thoughts, just cover them by the spoilers thing. But
Yes.
if you have questions that you want brought up during the book club, to put them there, so that
Yes.
you're not holding on to them until book club comes.
Yes, because you're gonna forget them.
it.
Yeah.
Because
I'm definitely like that. That's why I highlight everything in a book.
Because and I am proud of y'all for like participating, because there was a lot of people who were very interested in this book and were talking about how they had read it and really liked it. So
Yeah.
this book I read a year ago, and it was the first book that I read in 2025. So I think even then, I think I told you, I was like, you just got to read this book.
Oh yeah, you did.
I read it today with Poog and Mio and Moo, in like 4 hours. So we listened to the audiobook in like 4 hours by Discord.
Thank you so much for hosting that, Mo. Thank you so much. That was dope.
Oh yeah, that's right, BT. Yeah, I remember you did read it afterwards, and I kind of want to do some more stuff like that too, because I know sometimes it's not accessible for everybody to go. Like even if you have a library is not able to have it.
Yeah.
And so I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you need help or whatever, just let me know. I know there's Crowbatty.
Yes, the actual librarian.
Right. So just let us know.
Oh my god.
If you have some suggestions for next time's book club too, hit us up.
Yes, please hit us up with suggestions, even though I'm not letting y'all pick books anymore, because I'm a complainer. Rainwater, thank you so much for the 16 months. I appreciate it. Thank you. And thank you for the follow. Somebody followed 2 minutes ago. But yeah, if you have any suggestions, put them in the books and comics or the story graph. Either one is fine. Is there anything?
Feel free to add me if you need to as well.
Is there anything else I want to add, or you want to add?
I ain't got nothing. Just
I'm trying to
drink your water, eat a snack, take your meds, chill.
Use your rolls. Don't break it.
Yeah. Because these things is getting expensive.
They are. Don't be like Leash Capiche.
Yeah.
No, I need help.
Get up and stretch. Get up and move around, or move your body some if you've been at your damn computer screen or sitting for a while. You need to do that.
Trent, I will time your ass out again. Mo. I'm gonna time him out. Jesus Christ. Thank you so much, Mo. I appreciate you. Thank you for being a good friend. Thank you for being a good community member. Thank you for being a good man. Thank you for being the bestest baby daddy ever. Thank you for being the bestest sheep in the flock. Mo! Motherfucking Mo the sheep. Let's go!
Oh, and thank you for guiding me.
No. Not Mo is taken. That ain't never stopped me before. Just kidding. Love you, Mo.
All right.
Bye. Bye.
Oh, please.
Oh, GG's W Book Club. I know Mo will make a curry one day. That's crazy. W Book Club. I had such a good time. This was an amazing book. I'm so happy that y'all all right, I'll rate out. I'm so happy that y'all participated. Y'all make me so happy when y'all participate in the things that we hold. The more y'all participate, the more shit we'll actually hold. Stop being shy guys and talk to us. We're okay. I'm not gonna bite you. Okay. I'm not gonna bite you, I promise. Not see y'all in August, please. Not your shy. So the next book club, we'll just go ahead and stick with the original plan. I don't want to switch it up because I already had in my mind that I was gonna read this book. The next book is called I, Medusa. It's 319 pages, so it's gonna be a little bit longer, but 300 pages is pretty standard. I try not to go over 400. Once you start getting to 500, 600 pages, that's a tome. That's a tome. I try not to go over 400 pages, so I try to keep it within the 200, 300 page realm. Just to let y'all know, this is a story about Medusa in an alternative timeline from a Black woman's point of view. So there will more than likely 100% be SA in the book. So if you're not comfortable with reading SA in a book, I will not suggest that you read this book. So just FYI that I know that is for sure one of the trigger warnings in this book. I do not know of the other ones. So the story, the book we're reading is called I, Medusa, a novel by Ayana Gray. So go ahead and put it on your is it free anywhere? I don't know. Check Libby, check your library. So of course we have, if it's, what is the 20th, it's the 22nd. So, oh, there's 5 Sundays in March. Do I want to, we got to go by Mo's schedule, honestly. Mo, do you want to do March the 29th or do you want to do April 5th? March 29th or April 5th? I think April 5th would be better. Give y'all a whole month to read the book. It's harder because we need like the next 2 books for book club to try to get them via library on time. Damn. Do the earlier one so you can push it back. Honestly, that is actually a good idea, BT. We'll do it like this. We'll say April 5th, but the longest I could push it back to is April 19th. How about that? How about that? If everything goes smoothly, we'll have it on April 5th. But if the latest I can push it back is April 19th. How is that fair? Let's just say it, okay? If everything goes poogly, right? I always forget about the library. I had enough of that place in college and grad school. You gotta go. If you have Spotify Premium, it's on audiobook there as well. Okay, good. And Hoopla. So you got Libby, you got Hoopla, and I forgot the third one. Not see y'all May 5th. No. The latest I could push back this book club is April 19th. Because I'm trying to get 5 books this year. Okay. I'm trying to do, my goal is to do 7 books this year, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Unless I throw in a couple of smaller ones. So, oh boy, okay. Not May 5th. No, not May 5th. April 5th. April 5th or April 19th. Fair enough. April. Poke, I will time you out. Have some goddamn faith. Not go ahead. No. The happy box is no longer a punishment. Y'all get a little too excited when y'all go to the happy box. Now I'm starting to think it's a club. I'm starting to think it's Club Happy Box. Anyway, once again, thank y'all for participating in the book club. over on the Tube of You, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream because we're gonna raid out to a Twitch person who streams on Twitch. It's my first time ever looking at their content, so I trust Crobatsons. I trust Corbatson, period. Bye, YouTubians. Toodaloo.